Stand up, New York Giant fans.
That's about right.
You're not getting the energetic stand up after they didn't earn the energetic stand up New York Giant fans after that performance. But Baddog, we're going to get through it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to vent our frustrations.
Yes.
Season's not over, but obviously a big, big loss for the New York Giants. And we'll see if they're able to respond after about as tough as a loss, probably the toughest loss the Giants have had, maybe since the miracle at the Meadowlands too. I mean, that was a tough one.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself. I'm sitting there saying, when's the last time that I felt like this after a regular season loss? It's been a long time, but I really legitimately thought about not going to work today. I was sick to my stomach. I mean, it's one thing. I mean, obviously in my post game, I was mad. Don't get me wrong. But when this happened, I was upset. Like, there's a difference between being mad and sad. One thing I'll say, and, love is a really screwed up emotion because it embodies every other human emotion. I love the New York Giants. Like, I love them with my heart and soul. So when you love something that much, you have all kinds of emotions. You're mad, you're sad, you're happy, you're, ecstatic, you're insecure, you're worried. Like, everything was going on during that game. It was just such a rough loss, which is, why I just think we got the best fans in the world. I mean, we have dealt with a lot of crap since we started this show, and the guys and girls continue to show up, continue to support us, continue to support the Giants. And I know a lot of people are pissed off. I understand it. We're going to talk a lot about it tonight. And I get that people are saying, I'm done with this. I love it because I do the same thing. Done with this team. I'm done. I've had it. Screw them. Oh, if they don't deserve my energy, they don't deserve it. They don't. And you know what? We're all going to be on Chris's channel on next Sunday when they retire Eli's Manning jersey and we get our first win of the year. We're all going to be there for that.
Yeah.
We're all going to be there for that.
You're not done. I mean, I understand the frustration. I understand that's as tough as as there is to lose. And obviously there was a lot more negatives than positives. The only positive I take out of the game was Jones and Gano. I thought Gano was incredible. And Shepard. I mean, Shepard's been money so far this year, but Galladay had 8 targets, only had 3 catches. I mean, the defense just we can speak about the defense for 3 hours, how piss poor that was. And I put a lot of that on Judge and Graham. I mean, the coaching staff's not putting these guys in the right situation to succeed. The defensive game plans have been absolutely atrocious. The first game I thought they blitzed too much. This game they didn't blitz at all. It's like they played too passive. They played too much back. They played soft zone. They've given up 2 touchdowns to end the first half back-to-back weeks. They've given up nearly 600 passing yards against backup quarterbacks.
Yes.
And this was a defense coming in, Baddog, that we all expected at a minimum league average. I mean, I know that we played a soft schedule last year. We played banged-up quarterbacks, and that definitely had a little bit for sure, and it looks like a lot more than we thought to do with our defensive productions in terms of yards and points against when you look at some of the quarterbacks we went up against. But we all thought this defense was going to be much better than this, and we kind of warned that after the first game, or at least I did. I think you did too. After the first game, I hear everybody saying Jason Garrett, because he's the pinata. And I'm like, what the hell did you watch? Because the game plan that Patrick Graham came out with week 1 didn't look like what the hell he was doing. And then I gave him the benefit of the doubt going into week 2, and it got worse. And I don't know, man. I completely understand everybody's frustrations right now, and the New York Giants right now are in a tough spot. And hopefully we dig ourselves out. But we got a long season ahead of us. We still got 15 more games, and hopefully the New York Giants can find a way to get some wins and get this team going on the right path.
No doubt. JD, thank you, brother. Really appreciate you, my guy. He says, the passion you guys have is unreal. The content after that loss by both you, it's why you're an inspiration to content guys, but also to fans. Cheers. Well, we appreciate that, buddy. We try. And like I said, and we say it all the time, without you guys and girls, we wouldn't even be able to do the content. We wouldn't do the stuff we do. You guys are an inspiration to us to continue to pump out the content, do the live streams, everything else, because misery loves company is a saying. So it's nice to have shoulders to cry on when we have stuff like this. And JD, thank you again, brother. Really. Chargers and Niners win. The energy shifts versus Atlanta. I agree. I think Atlanta will be we should be able to win that game. Before we go ahead, Chris.
No, I
thought you had something to say. I
do. But first off, I want to JD's the man. I've worked with him a few times. Looking forward to working with him the more. So definitely check out his channel if you guys haven't. He does great Knicks and Giants content. But he's absolutely right. If on Sunday the Eagles lose, like he said, to the Niners, and the Chargers beat the Cowboys, and the Cowboys dropped to 0-2. The Eagles dropped to 1-1, and we beat Atlanta. And I think the Eagles play a tough team. Things change. It's a week-to-week sport. It's why it's super emotional. Obviously, if we win that game, we have much different feeling right now. A lot of people are thinking, yeah, playoffs. I mean, if you win that, I'm not saying everybody, but there would definitely be a lot more people that were thinking that right now. From an optimistic standpoint, the one thing I will say, I know, and I'm not trying to make people feel better, I know people are down in the dumps. The 0-2, 12% chance to make the playoffs. It's a little bit misleading because now 7 teams make the playoffs as opposed to 6. There's 17 games instead of 16, and we play in the NFC East. And you take a look at this division right now, Baddog. 9 wins is going to win this division. 8 wins might win this division. The Cowboys are completely banged up. The Washington, their defense does not look nearly as good as people thought it was going to look going into the year. And do you think the Eagles are winning more than 8 games? Because I don't. So no. I don't see anybody running away with this division. We need to find a way to get things going in the right path. I know we play a really hard schedule to start the year. We got to find a way to get to 2-4. If we could beat Atlanta and win 1 out of the next 3 against Dallas, the Saints, and the Rams, which is a tall task, but if we could do that and get to 2-4, I do think we have an opportunity, because that's what I had to start at. I had us going 9-8, but I had us starting at 2-4. I had us splitting the first 2 games. I had us beating Atlanta, and then I had us losing 3 straight. So the way I look at it now is we got to beat Atlanta, and we got to win 1 out of those 3 that I had us losing to substitute in for that Denver win that I had projected to us. So I ain't saying the season's over yet, but I know in an 0-2 hole, fans feel, and especially the way that we lost yesterday, fans feel super deflated. And you have every right to. It took the air out of me, man.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Let me get to some of these, and then I'll give you my thoughts on all this stuff real quick. Levi, Brilly, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. He says, we appreciate y'all, best Giant source. And like I said, we appreciate you guys and girls, man. You're the best. Benjamin, Brilly, my good man, Baddog. Tell Dom there's no such thing as Raider Stadium. It's Allegiant Stadium. And 2, Max just grows some balls and come out. I always need Benjamin to make me laugh, even when I'm down in the dumps. Levi, thank you, brother. Brilly. Chris, what does F&F mean? That's Faruqi and Faruqi.
Yeah, that's my official sponsor, Levi, on my channel. It's just permanently in the background, but that's my official sponsor on my channel.
I think Tuto might need Faruqi and Faruqi when he gets done beating the hell out of all the Eagle fans. And Christopher, thank you, brother. Brilly. Problem with the Giants is John Mayer. We have no chance as long as he's owner. Definitely a big part of it. And Duran, thank you, my man. Brilly. Offsides is a blown call video shows. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about everything. I want to reiterate. Now, listen, we're not the 07 Giants. That's a fact, okay? Because that team had pass rushers. But what I'll say is this. In 07, we gave up 80 points on defense the first 2 games. We were 0-2. And it looked like this Coughlin was fired. Eli's done. It just, everything looked terrible. And all of a sudden, they were down 17-0 at the half against Washington. And they came back and won, and the season was turned around. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. But I think this defense, as bad as it's been, and it's been bad, I think it's better than it showed. I don't know what the hell the defense is. I really think this team is just – I think they believe their own hype. And I hate this zone. I thought we got rid of James Betcher. I didn't think James Betcher was our coordinator anymore. And this soft shell zone on 3rd and 2, how do you have 3 down linemen on the 2-yard line? What are you doing?
How do you have 12 men on the field with 25 seconds to go in the game where Judge has to call a timeout? How do you have that much disruption? The Judge has to start taking some responsibility, and we both like Judge. We try to listen. I don't want to move on from Judge. I don't want to have another head coach that we fire after 2 years. But at the end of the day, the honeymoon period is over, Baddog, and people are hyping this guy up too much. That's the truth of the matter. And listen, maybe last year I was a little bit guilty of it because I was excited that he was the head coach. But in the offseason, you see everybody saying every time there's something good, somebody says it's because of Judge. Every time there's something bad, it's because of Gettleman or it's because of Garrett or whatever. And he wasn't taking the blame for anything. And I think what's happened now, Baddog, because this team has dropped 2 straight in the method in which they have, people who have not been blaming him for anything are now it's just like it's over the top. And that's what happens when you build somebody up to be this superstar and things don't go the right way, it comes crashing down. And I think that's what's happening right now to Joe Judge.
That's New York. And I have a video coming out on Joe Judge tomorrow. I have a lot of content planned because I just got a lot of stuff to talk about. And I definitely have a video on him coming out. I one of my favorite things about YouTube, and I don't know where I come up with some of this stuff. I always just love when people love my quotes. The You Run Laps Joe takes on a life of its own. I see that in Eagle streams. I see it in Cowboy streams. Like I just see you. And a lot of people loved my video The Giants couldn't spell fundamentals if you spotted them the fundamental and left off the S because the S stands for shit. Like, that's everywhere now. I don't know where I come up with this stuff. Sometimes I go back and I laugh at myself because, again, I love the New York Giants, so I get overly emotional about it. I become irrational. It was such a bad loss. And I don't even know where to begin. But again, this defense just has to be better. I mean, James Bradbury, god awful. I mean, Terry McLaurin had 10 receptions or 11 receptions, whatever it was, on 12 targets. They got to do better. I don't know what the hell's going on. Where's Leonard Williams? Where's Dexter Lawrence? Where are these guys? I don't understand. I don't know. I was guilty of, hey, this defense is going to be top 5. I really thought it. I mean, you look at them last year, they didn't have Dory Jackson, and they didn't have Xavier McKinney, and they're really missing Dalvin Tomlinson. I can tell you that. It's just, I think Leonard Williams misses Dalvin Tomlinson. They definitely miss him in the run game, and this team on defense just doesn't have the energy it had last year. It's very strange the way it's playing. And I mean, you talked about Joe Judge being hyped up. We hyped up Patrick Graham to be his defensive guru. And they just haven't showed up. Hopefully this changes, but giving him 336 yards to Taylor Heineke is inexcusable. Giving up a 2-play 75-yard touchdown drive when you're up 26-20 with 4 minutes to go in the game is inexcusable. This stuff can't happen. And again, I got a lot to talk about with Joe Judge. I'll save it for the video tomorrow, but the defense has to do better. There's no doubt about that, man. Alien, really, thanks so much, man. He says, we started 0-2 the last 5 seasons. I think the reason why most of us are down right now is because it feels like we're in for yet another bad season. That's a fact. I hate that feeling. It's been bad. It's been bad. Orphanage, thank you, brother. Really, my man. I've asked some members of the EOC Elite Occupation Committee to pay respects to the Giants' loss last night. For your information, if I played, it would have won 29-0. Well, no, because you don't get any run support, DeGrom. We know that. You probably would have lost one. Yankees might actually win tonight. They were leading 8-0 when I turned it off. Wolfgang, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, my man. Really, what up, guys? Can we change ownership? How does that work? Much love. Only if they sell it.
Yeah, they're not. You're not getting new ownership. Mara's had it forever. I don't see him selling that team anytime.
Well, I don't know. I ain't got the money. You and I should buy it. We need. Anybody got like $500 million, $800 million we can borrow? We got it.
Roldy is the best. He puts words in my mouth.
really, Roldy. Thank you, brother. Let's see what he says. He says, can't sleep on Atlanta. And I'm telling you right now, Chris, you telling fans about the 0-2 is misleading, to tell the truth. It's worry about us instead of other teams. They might be better than us.
Putting words in my mouth. Our team sucks, Roldy. I'm not taking any team for granted. Period. I'm just saying the season's not over at 0-2. I think Atlanta could absolutely destroy us the way this team has looked. So I'm not trying to mislead anybody. If the Giants went 1-16 this year, the way they've looked the first 2 weeks, I wouldn't be shocked. So I'm not trying to mislead anybody. This team needs to get a lot better before they start winning some football games. I think we could beat Atlanta. I predicted them to beat them before the year started. I thought we'd lose to Washington. I know that the way that we lost to Washington was deflating. But this team has to play a lot better. I'm not trying to mislead anybody. Right now, this New York Giants team is absolute dog shit.
There you go. Yeah, it's dog shit. It's about right. You might be insulting dog shit, but it's pretty close. Christopher, thank you, brother. Really. Why we spent a first-round pick on Tony, not using him at all the first 2 games? I want to talk about Kadarius Toney and the offense in a second, because I want to talk about I want to start this. We kind of started with the defense, but I want to talk about some positive stuff that we did last night, actually. Benjamin, thank you, my man. Appreciate you, brother. Really. Benjamin's favorite Tainah quote, you got to be effing kidding me. And after last night's debacle, there's no way any doubt that sports pervert has a Benjamin, I can't with you, man. You crack me the hell up. The swerve from KP to sports expert was flawless. Suhaib, thank you, brother. Really. Chris, I saw your DJ video today. If he's our guy, we have to blow up the team simultaneously. At least the silver lining is DJ. That'll accelerate our rebuild. By the way, love the emotions last night, fellas. You go back and watch that. You watch me the whole time. I am uneasy the entire time. I even after the interception, I am completely uneasy. I am never comfortable in that fourth quarter because I just knew it was going to happen. You just feel it. Bad things happen to bad teams. We have been a bad team for so long. Good teams get breaks. Bad teams get bad breaks. The Giants have got to find a way to get the hell out of this. They got to start winning these games, which, again, will be in my Joe Judge video. I got a lot to talk about with Joe Judge, and that's why I'm just going to do a video on it. But there's a lot for me to say about Joe Judge. Mike, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really, really, guys. We're a family. We share a passion for the New York Giants. Giants have to beat two teams we didn't expect them to beat. Yeah, because I think we just lost to two teams.
I think one. I had them going 1-1 to start the year, so I'm going to go one.
I was going. No, I had us beating Washington only because I said I have to pick against Washington until they beat us, which they did. But Chris, I want to talk about Daniel Jones. Okay, I didn't see your video today. I know you did a video, but I didn't get a chance to watch it. Did you? This is my day today. So last night, guys, I did the post game, and I'm really upset, and you could tell. I fell asleep a little after 3:00 in the morning. So needless to say, get a 5:30 comes pretty early when you fall asleep at about 3. I looked at the clock; it was 3:12, and that's the last time I remember. So who the hell knows when I fell asleep? So I got like 2 hours of sleep. Then I go to work all day. Then I come home, I make dinner. I go to the gym like a fool because I'm exhausted. I'm in there for an hour and a half. Then I come home, I eat my dinner, take a shower, and get ready to stream. So I had a busy day. So I'm worn out. But the Giants just they upset me that much last night. It was upsetting. So I didn't get a chance to watch your video just because I was been busy today. But Daniel Jones. One thing I want to say, Robert, really, really thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. This is a great Eagle fan right there. There's very few classy Eagle fans. Robert is definitely one of them. He says, don't count out the G-Men just yet. It's the NFC East.
I agree. I'm not giving up on the season.
Chris, so this is what I hear. You know me. You guys and girls in the chat know me. I pull no punches when it comes to Daniel Jones. As a matter of fact, I'm overly critical of him maybe at times. I always feel like my criticism is valid of anybody I criticize because I feel like whether it's the number 1 guy or 53 guy, I try to be fair. Am I a little irrational sometimes? Of course. Okay. I'm a fan. But I keep hearing, because I killed Slayton in that video. And everyone's saying, well, not everybody, but we had a few people saying, Daniel Jones overthrew that ball. Daniel Jones overthrew that ball. So, because Chris, he didn't overthrow. If he overthrew that ball, Chris, it's by inches.
Hold on. Let's take this play into account, Baddog. Daniel Jones couldn't step into the throw. Daniel Jones got rocked as he threw the football. And maybe the ball was like 3 inches too far.
Right.
Where it was, if you're Darius Slayton, you help your freaking quarterback.
Thank you.
You lay out and you catch that foot.
Lay out. Thank you.
I'm sick of the overhate. And listen, a lot of the knocks on Daniel Jones is justified.
Yes.
But the over-hatred for Daniel Jones when anything isn't 1,000% perfect is absurd.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely absurd. It's like people are looking for any little thing to
BS.
To slam this guy for.
They said the same thing about the Ingram throw. Remember last year they said the same thing about the Ingram throw. It's BS. Let me ask you this. I guarantee you 8 out of 10 NFL receivers catch that ball. You think that Terry McLaurin doesn't catch that?
If you're a good NFL receiver, you catch that ball.
Right. That wasn't a tough.
10 out of 10.
You think Odell Beckham doesn't catch that?
Odell Beckham catches that with one hand.
You know what I mean? Do you think that Terry McLaurin doesn't catch it? Amari Cooper, DeAndre Hopkins? I mean, that is a play. He wasn't diving, trying to get 2 feet down in bounds, which he screwed up later in the game. That is an extremely catchable ball for an NFL receiver. Lay out, like Chris said, help your quarterback. Daniel Jones was great last night. Great. He did everything. They took a freaking touchdown away from him on a phantom holding call. He should have had 130 yards and 2 touchdowns rushing. He should have had another 50 yards passing and another passing touchdown.
When you evaluate Daniel Jones, I think you also have to put it in context. And again, I'm going to do it on a game-by-game basis this year. This game, he was really, really good when you factor in the opponent. Last year, the Washington football team was the number 2 ranked defense in all of football. And yes, they played a similar schedule to us, so maybe the defense was a little bit inflated, but I don't think anybody's arguing that they weren't at least a top 10 defense.
Yeah.
Everybody that's saying, oh, he always beats up on Washington. Well, yeah, in 2019, when Washington had the worst defense in football, or among one of the worst, he beat up on them. 2020, they had a much better defense. His last game against Washington, he threw for 112 yards. Last year, Washington's last 7 regular season games, they gave up 20 points or less. Their first game against Justin Herbert, they gave up 20 points. Had Darius Slayton caught that ball, the Giants would have posted 36 points on Washington.
And if they don't call the holding call back.
Yeah, and that would have been the highest total against Washington since 2019. So for people to discount Daniel Jones's effort last night when the defense gave him no good field position, they couldn't they couldn't stop the other side. Yep. He wasn't getting help from his receivers with drops. Garrett was making some questionable play calls. The Shepard 9-yard loss, the pitch to Barkley that lost 6 yards. He wasn't doing him a whole lot of favors. Daniel Jones last night, you could pick on Daniel Jones all you want. I know Jeffrey Abbey's in here. He won't even call him Daniel Jones. You could pick on number 8 all that you want, Mr. Abbey. Last night, Daniel Jones played really good. And if you're going to bash Daniel Jones, if you're going to be fair, you have to give him credit when he plays really well.
Daniel Jones is the only reason we were in that game last night.
The only reason we were in the end. The only reason.
And Gano. But my point is, like I said, I'm critical. I'm extremely critical of Daniel Jones because I've seen that performance from him before. And I know what's in there. And he'll do that for a game, or he'll do it for 2 games, and then all of a sudden he'll have a game where he's 17 for 36 for 113 yards and a fumble and a pick. And I'm like, what is going on? Which is why he's frustrating. But like you said, I take things on a game-to-game basis. That is the pulse of sports. People are like, oh, you're too emotional. No, you're not. This aged poorly. When you cover sports, things are going to age poorly because you take it on a game-by-game basis. So when you're reporting on one game, it may be terrible, and you're going to rip the team. And then next Sunday, maybe they come out and they beat Atlanta 38-10, and we're talking about how great they are. But that is sports. So I always love this aged poorly. It's such a stupid comment. It is always by people that don't cover sports, because anybody that does this is always going to have something that ages poorly. They're always going to be wrong about something. Just admit you're wrong. It ain't hard to be wrong all the time.
I know you got to get to these, but let me say another thing. And again, there's a lot of faults to Daniel Jones's game, and there's reasons why these numbers are the way they are. But this common misconception that people put out there, Danny turnovers, Danny fumbles. Daniel Jones has 29 starts in the NFL. In his first 21 starts, we all know in his rookie year was horrible. He had 23 turnovers combined. In his first 21 starts, the guy had 37 turnovers. In his last 8 starts, he's had 4, and he's only thrown 1 pick. In a half a season's worth of games, his last 8 games, he's thrown 1 interception, and it went off of both of Evan Ingram's hands. Mm-hmm. Now, he's thrown balls that, of course, could be intercepted, but at the end of the day, every quarterback does that.
Exactly.
He's only thrown 1 interception over his last 8 games. So you could fault Daniel Jones for a lot of things. But the turnover stuff, that needs to stop. And I think that gets in his head because sometimes he plays scared because everybody's like, oh, Danny turnovers. The turnovers, his last 8 games haven't been there. Right. He's been much improved in that area, and young quarterbacks can improve over the course of their career. Peyton Manning led the league in interceptions in his rookie year, through 28 picks. He's gotten much better in that area. I love that they opened up the playbook last night. I love that they try to stretch the field. Need to see more of it. But the thing that I didn't love, Joe Judge, what are you doing? The defense is playing atrocious whole game. Jones is lighting up that defense, and you have an opportunity to put that team away twice on 4th down. 1 time you kicked the field, 2 times you kicked the field goal. 1 was a chip shot, the other was a 55-yarder. You had a chance on 2 4th and 2 opportunities to try to pick up the 1st down and put faith in your quarterback. You had a chance on 2nd and 9 late in the game after the interception to throw on that play, and you didn't do it. And we said it this week leading up into the game. You can't play scared, and I'm starting to worry a little bit with Judge, and it's only his 2nd game, and I'm not calling for his head. But in the NFL, you cannot play scared and win football games on a consistent basis. You can't always rely on your defense to close out games, especially the way this defense has been playing. And the way Jones was playing last night, the way the offense was operating, Daniel Jones deserved an opportunity to close that game out, and he didn't give him the chance, and it pisses me off.
Agreed. Let me get to some of these, and we'll talk more about that. Tutto, grazie, paisano. Really fat get he's even given to Judge to make it work, but hasn't been able to utilize them and win games. That's why forget about it. We have to forget about it, too. It's tough, but we have to forget about it and move on. Jonathan Lane Pounds, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really. Kansas City, Tampa Bay, LA, and Dallas. There's a possibility we go 2-9 or 1-10. Worried that the new regime will want to move on from Daniel Jones despite hopefully that's not the case. We got to take it one game at a time, but we have to play better. There's no doubt about that. Booze World, thank you, brother. Really. NFL is admitting that's not offsides. We're going to talk about that too. Who dat? Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really. Please beat Atlanta. You all played better than Atlanta did against the Eagles. We should be able to beat Atlanta. Let's hope we do. I hope I don't miss any of these because StreamYard is very weird with this, and I might have missed some, and if I did, I'm sorry, guys.
I'll make sure.
Mike Caruso, thank you, brother. Really. Can I see your feet? No, ask Philly 500. He likes the feet soles. L.A. Lou, I'm going to have to go back and get some of these. Thank you so much, Brilly. He says it was a bad loss. They made mental mistakes, but you can eliminate mistakes. But the Giants' culture is positive. The desire is there. At least they aren't McAdoo's 3-33 quitters. Have faith. Well, that sucked, but we were 3-33 against with the 2-play 75-yard drive kind of pissed me off. DeGondre Baker, thank you, brother. Really. Chris knows I'm the first person to say Jones is a bust. Last night, he definitely was not a bust. Slayton was, and Lawrence and Garrett and the whole team. It was pretty bad. Blue Collar, thank you, my man. Really appreciate you. He says, I'm not ready to anoint Jones, but you have to acknowledge progression and a great game by him. Now be consistent. RPO, finally. We did it a few times. My question is this loss that unites us? We'll talk about that too. Peter, thank you, brother. Really appreciate you. Chris, real thoughts on that long YouTube comment from a few hours ago. Can we reasonably expect what we saw from Jones moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if he's going to be of course, it's impossible for a quarterback to have a good game every time he goes out there. Eli Manning had horrible games. It's going to happen. So you can't just say he has to play great every single game. Otherwise, you can't be a franchise quarterback. But we need to see a lot more consistency for Daniel Jones, no doubt about it. And hopefully that'll be the case. You know, I said at the beginning of the year before it started, I thought week 3 on, you were going to see a much better offense and a much better Daniel Jones. I thought the first 2 weeks it was going to be tough sledding. I actually thought he played much better than I expected against Washington, with all the factors and everything else. And I'm a little bit worried about this offensive line now with Nick Gates going down, and hopefully they can hold up. But no, obviously he's got to be consistent, man. He's got to play like he did last night more often than not.
Yes.
No doubt about it. Do I expect that every single game for him to carry the team? No. Sometimes the defense got to pick up the slack, but yes, that has to be a lot more the norm than I guess the abnormality. It's got to be. Yeah, you come to expect that on a pretty regular basis.
Yeah. Tuto, I can't bring it up on the screen, but I see it. Thank you, Paisano. Grazie. Says, if New York Giants offer me a contract I ask for today, I'll turn everything around on defense by myself at this point, guaranteed. We need you, Tuto.
I'm going to read a couple that you might have missed.
I'm getting a mead right now. I think that was it. I think I just missed Tuto and a mead. I got Mike Caruso with the feet soles, and I got who that says, please beat Atlanta. So I just missed Tuto and a mead here. Mead, thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you, my man. Really. Hey, guys, I know it's early, and I'm hoping DJ sustain consistency for the rest of the season so we can draft our Chase Young and Kayvon Thibodeau in next year's draft and some offensive line. We need to fix the trenches in the first and third rounds, no exception. I'm pretty sure that's what the EX means.
100%. I'm completely on board with that assessment. If Jones could prove worthy of another year, you got to go. You got to get. You look at this defense the first 2 weeks, we are getting no pressure. We need an edge rusher. We need an edge rusher. And we absolutely need to continue to draft offensive linemen. So if for me, those first 2 picks, linemen, either 2 linemen and an edge, or an edge and a lineman, but I agree. Those are the 2 areas of need right now.
I completely agree. We got to build in our trenches because that's where we're losing these games. And I say it all the time. It may not be sexy, but that's the game may have changed. There's a lot of passing now. It's not the way it used to be. It's not 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Everything's set up for the quarterback. But at the end of the day, those games are still won there. And we are losing the battle in games on both sides on the line of scrimmage. Now, the offensive line has definitely played better than anybody could have hoped. They give up some stuff? Like, I was watching NFL Network or something, like the highlights. They're talking about, the offensive line was poor. Daniel Jones was sacked 4 times. It was the post game. And I'm like, did you guys watch the game? Did you watch the freaking game?
I think the line was okay. I don't think it was great. I think it was okay. But
Chris, it was going into the year, we said if we're an average offensive line, this offense can be really good.
It was,
and we should win a lot of games because we thought the defense would be
It wasn't horrible. I'll say that. It wasn't horrible. As the game wore along, they were blitzing a lot too as the game wore along, and so it was hard for the offensive line too. But Jones was doing good, man. We talked about his pocket awareness. He was stepping up in the pocket. He was buying a little bit more time. I thought Jones last night had a pretty good feel for the pocket.
Yeah. Jerron, thank you, brother. Really, this team may ruin DJ. Let's hope not. Let's hope DJ. Let's just hope DJ builds off the performance.
Jarvis hit the nail on the head right there. He said Slater would be better than Tony.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
This is my issue when I had time, and I said it in my live stream last night, Baddog. This is my issue with the Giants' decision. And the trade is great. The value is great. I understand it. Everybody says you can't pass up on that value. I get it. But when you are all in on Daniel Jones, which it appeared that they were, you went and drafted a 4th overall tackle the year before. You went and spent a ton of money on Kenny Golladay. You tried, you got him a running back the year before he started with Barkley. So you were trying to give him as many pieces as you possibly could. If you're not going to use that pick to make an immediate impact for the best possible player for Daniel Jones, I don't get it. Like, if you had the ability to get Slater, you do it. By you trading down, you're hurting Daniel Jones this year. And that's what this year is about, is assessing Daniel Jones. So by trading down, if you're going to trade down and not show full confidence in your quarterback and not try to get the best available player at that pick to help your quarterback, why didn't you just draft the quarterback? Yeah. That's my take. If you had the ability to take Slater there and really try to solidify this offensive line, who was probably, if not the best offensive lineman in this draft, the second best, I didn't like that decision by the Giants to bypass him at all. No. In hindsight, for sure.
Didn't make sense. Peter, thank you, brother. Really appreciate you. I didn't say he has to be great every time he plays. What I'm saying is a franchise quarterback has to be good 90-ish% of the time.
Yeah, I agree.
He does.
I agree with that. He's got to be consistent. We all know that.
Sebastian, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really. Also want to shout out the offensive line. Pass blocking, also run blocking. Just kind of weird. It's kind of been like that, especially since we had Nick Gates go down and so many. I thought they did a good job. Again, they're not great. It's not elite, but if somebody told me the offensive line was going to play the way they did the first 2 games, I would have thought we would have won both games going into the game.
Like he said, it's the reverse of last year. The run blocking is pitiful.
Sucks.
And the pass protection's been okay, which is much better than it was last year.
Yeah. Thomas, thank you, my man. Appreciate you. Really. You never sent my buddy Matt Caruso's Kobe shirt after winning the giveaway, you mush. I absolutely sent everything. So I don't know what you're talking about. And I don't know how long ago that was, but I sent everything out. So I don't know what you're talking about, but I sent everything out. Ask anybody. So if you didn't get it, the post office lost it, but I definitely sent it out. Sticky Fingertips, thank you, brother. Really appreciate you. Says, I don't care about stats throws. That's expected. What finally impresses me was the long TD to Slayton wasn't Garrett's call. DJ saw man coverage, changed up pre-snap, looked off the free safety, made the throw. That's how I judge quarterbacks. He's getting better at that. Yeah, I think he's learning. Cold Stone employee, thank you, brother. Really. EOC member here. Always remember, I'm the best. I have a feeling he's related to Orphanage DeGrom. Mike, thank you, brother. Really. Let me see your toes. Hey, like I said, ask Philly 500, man. He loves feet. That's your guy. Philly 500's a foot man all the way. Rolly, thank you, really appreciate you. If we lose this game against Atlanta, we better pray Judge doesn't lose the locker room because his sermons that he does during the press conferences are getting tired. Fans are already getting sick of that. Oh, we got to do better. Stop talking about it and do it. Actions speak way louder than words.
There's a ton of pressure. Not on him, not just on him, definitely on him, not just on him, but a lot of people, Gettleman, everybody, to win this Atlanta game. Like you lose this game, you've now dropped 2 games at home. You dropped probably your most winnable game of the year, in my opinion. Atlanta at home, at least your easiest non-divisional game. There is so much pressure. You cannot start 0-3 with a loss to Atlanta. Like if this was the Bucks and you were playing Atlanta next week, maybe, but right. With Atlanta in this spot, no. Giants have got to win this game. Got to win this game.
Agreed. That's a must win.
Yeah.
Yarnell, my man. Thank you, brother. Really. Hey, guys, unfortunately, I'm still here. Why didn't they put Kadarius Toney in for can't catch Slayton? Where has Toney been? What is going on with Kadarius Toney?
They have not let Toney see the field. I didn't think he's going to have a huge role to start the year because he was hurt all the preseason, right? He had the virus, and then he had something with his ankle. But when they put him out there to, game 1, It was weird. They only had him out there for 8 plays, and then he never saw the field again. He barely played last night. He played a little bit, but I don't think they threw the ball to him once. I don't know, man. They got to get him more involved in this offense. You know, we talk about guys that can make explosive plays. He's one of them. And, you know, Darius Slayton, I know he caught the touchdown, but to me, he's a limited wide receiver who doesn't have good hands. He's not a good route runner. He's a guy that, yeah, he could catch a vertical route down the sideline. That's basically what he's limited to doing. I don't really view him as good outside of much else. He's got speed. He's relatively tall. And if he could actually catch the ball, yeah, I guess you could you could catch some vertical routes. But I think Tony's a much more versatile player. I have to think he's going to get more implemented into this offense as the season progresses. I have to think that.
You would imagine they took you wasted a first round pick on him. I mean, you got to put him in there. Yeah. Zeke, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really, really. We have players making big time money. You can't have that on teams that don't win. Cap is compromised. We are screwed. That's kind of what got the Eagles was that. And yeah, I mean, it's not a good situation. I don't really know how the hell they turn it around. They got to win. They got to get confidence. They got to find a way to. So this is why I'm hard on Joe Judge this year. This is why in my post-game video, I screamed this was on Joe Judge. You have to find ways to win these games. As a head coach, you can't keep losing these close games. How many close games did we lose last year? As a head coach, you got to find a way to win these close games because it doesn't matter how much you win or lose by it. All that matters is winning and losing. And every time, and again, I'll talk more about this in the video, but every time we're close, man, this team shrivels up in the biggest spots. And I don't understand it. They have.
Here's the other thing I'm going to say about Judge. And again, I want to.
They know they're going to lose. They're waiting for something bad to happen.
This is coming from somebody who wants to support Judge, and I'm trying to stick with him. But this is the thing that I don't like about Judge right now. You know, through 2 games this year. Last year, I understood the philosophy because I knew the offense wasn't going to be able to do anything. I knew that they had to play conservative to try to give themselves an opportunity for the defense to win because they had nothing on offense. This year, you went out there, you got all these pieces, you got to be more aggressive. And when Judge operates the way that he does is conservatively, and maybe things will change. It's 2 games in. He said before the year started, it's going to act as a preseason. Maybe he feels these guys got to get more acclimated. I don't know. But so far this year, when you operate the way that he does and you play as conservatively as he does, all you got to do is look at Fangio with Bridgewater. 4th and 7. He was going for it at midfield.
Yep.
4th and 3 at the 15 when they had a chip shot field goal. He was going for it. Okay? With Jones, when you don't go for it in certain spots, when you don't throw on 2nd and 9, when you don't go for it on 4th and 2, your team takes on that personality. I feel like they become like a passive team. Like they're not aggressive. You got to go out there. You got to snatch the win.
I did the video before the game. Be aggressive. Stop playing scared.
You got to go out and I think it like takes away confidence from the team when the coach doesn't show confidence, especially when you're going up and when you're playing Denver and you see Fangio saying, "Yeah, Bridgewater, go get that.
Yep,
Bridgewater, go win this game for me." Yep. And then with Jones,
it's like we don't believe in you.
When they were on their 4-yard line, they might as well just run the ball 3 times and just punted. So he needs to show more confidence in his football team. You have to be aggressive in the NFL nowadays to win. It's not the same way that it used to be.
I did a whole video on be aggressive. I talk about that. I mean, I can see it. You can see it. We can see it as fans. I don't know why they can't see it as coaches. Irish, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really, really work sucked today. Had to listen to all the Cowboys fans give me crap about losing. Karma's a bitch. Go San Francisco. I want the Eagles. I want them to suck. I appreciate the post-game streams. Help me get through tonight. Go Giants. You're the man, Irish. Thank you, brother. Zeke, thank you so much. Really, really. You can't succeed in a 3-4 without a dominant edge. Judon, Clowney, Dupree were all available, but we gave money to Leo, which I was dead set against. You weren't alone. A lot of people did not like that we gave Leo money. So I
he needs to be called. You know, we're talking about the coaches. You got to be fair, too. I mean, you got to spread the responsibility. Players have to perform.
They do.
And Leonard Williams has not performed, not at all. It's 2 weeks, but he's not
disappeared.
Performed. He got pretty good interior pressure the first game, and maybe he should have had a half a sack. I feel like they didn't credit him for it, but he didn't do much in the first game.
Ojulari's been our best guy in the front 7.
Who?
Ojulari.
Ojulari got the sack. There was one play where Ojulari, though, and I don't know if you remember.
It was against the pass. He stood there. I'm like, what are you doing? He stood there and watched. He watched it happen.
This guy, he had the guy that caught the ball was a foot to his left, and he watched
the guy. It was McLaurin. He just looked at him.
Not only does he not try to tackle him, he looks the other way and starts.
I didn't know what he was doing.
I'm like, what are you doing?
It must have been 4:20 to go in the fourth quarter because he was high on that play. I don't know. By the way, Chris, I noticed you got a clean shave. Your dad will be very happy about that. He'll be very disappointed in me. I've not shaved today, as you could tell. Bear, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really, I think the series after the interceptions, what got me frustrated, the most of our defense was getting handled the whole game. We didn't even go for a touchdown. Offense was on fire at that time. Why not go for the kill? I'm pretty sure I said that when we picked it off. Go for the touchdown. Do not. And if you're going to do that, Bear, run it 3 times so they use their timeouts. You might, on 3rd and 7, you might as well just run it again, make them, because at that point, you've already waved the white flag. We're settling for 3. I'm with you, Bear. I hated that. The one criticism I had of that game plan last night was you were not aggressive after the interception. Like Chris said, the defense was not able to hold them. Go and try to score a touchdown. You have to try, because even if unless you turn it over, you're going to get 3 no matter what. But you want Washington to have to get a touchdown, not a field goal. And that goes back to what Chris said. You're pretty much saying, even though Daniel Jones had a great game, hey, we have no confidence in you. Run the ball twice and then throw it.
Even if you didn't have a ton of confidence in DJ there, which at this point you should. You're saying he's your franchise guy. Give him the shot. But even if you didn't, that defense, like 2 drives ago, all they were going to need to do was go 40 yards to win the game.
Right.
That defense 2 drives ago gave up 75 yards on 2 plays. 2 plays. And Joe Judge elected to allow them to get the ball with 2 minutes to go rather than trying to win the game.
Yep.
What are you thinking?
Same. I agree. I couldn't agree more. DJ, thank you, brother. Really. Chris, your boy Josh Allen, Buffalo. He might suck this year. And that team, are you worried about your boy?
I mean, I don't know if I'll call my boy. It was just a guy that I called last year that was going to be a breakout quarterback. I was right. No, I'm not, honestly. I still think Josh Allen's going to have a fantastic year. I know the Steelers got a great defense that they played week 1. I know, a lot of people aren't super high on them, but they still got a great defense. Allen's in a great offensive scheme. He still got Stephon Diggs. No, I think Josh Allen will still be a top 5 or 6 quarterback this year.
Chef Oz, thank you, brother. Really appreciate you, my man. He says, License Plays guy said there's something going on with Tony. He would move away from the team and Judge and was talking to him, but he had bad body language. It's because he's not involved. I'd be pissed off too. Yeah. Kadarius Toney came out on Instagram and said, this is effing lame. Then he came out on Twitter and said, you're making something out of nothing. And I retweeted the quote, or I retweeted it and quoted, don't back down. You're right. It is lame. They drafted you put you in the game. Can we see why do you spend the number 20 overall pick on him if you're not going to use him? Your first round pick should have an impact immediately. Immediately. Your third round pick's a project. Fine. Aaron Robinson, fine. He's a project. I know he's been hurt, but he's a project. Those guys are projects. Your first round pick needs to be in the lineup. If he's not starting, he needs to see at least half the snaps. You got to try to get him involved. I'd be pissed off about
why not put him on kick returns? Do something.
Right.
Get this guy involved. He's supposed to be an explosive playmaker. If you don't feel he's acclimated yet to the offense with Jones and you don't want him running a ton of routes, at least use him as a kick returner. Like, this guy could create explosive opportunities. Get him on the field. I don't get it.
Esar, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really. I have hope. Jones looked amazing. We have an easy schedule. Well, I know the Giants don't ever have any easy games because we're not good.
Nope.
So there's no gimmies for the Giants. There's no gimmies for them. Waluigi, grazie. Thanks so much, brother. Really says, I just want to say I really appreciate you guys putting out Giants content. It's hard to root for this team right now, but sometimes love is filled with pain. I couldn't agree more. And we thank you for all your support, guys, because like I said, if it wasn't for you guys and girls, we wouldn't be doing this. So Thomas Panicola, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, my guy. Really, something seems to be going on with Kadarius Toney. Like the guy said, when he saw the offense come off the field, Kadarius Toney would get up and move away from them and be alone. Yeah, just cover that. Because he sees the offense again, but he's like, I'm not part of it again. I'm not part of it again. Well, what the hell did you draft me for?
He came out and taught. Well, I think I didn't read it, but he had some kind of, I don't know. I read that he had some kind of Instagram post.
This is said. Yeah, I just said. He said this is effing lame.
Yeah.
And then he came out on Twitter and said, boy, you guys will make something out of nothing. And I retweeted it with a quote that said, hey, don't back down. You're right. It is lame. It is.
Yeah.
It's lame that they don't use him. Yeah. Reuse him on a freaking shovel pass.
Use him in the Wildcat or something. Get him involved.
You, I, and everyone in this chat have more career receiving yards than Kadarius Toney.
That's true.
He's got -6 receiving yards in his career.
-2.
I'm sorry. We all have more receiving yards than him. All of us.
Yep.
LA, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really, really. Giants have a myriad of problems from the quarterback, defensive coach, and the GM, but we wouldn't be in this mess without the man on top, and that's John Mara. And you're right.
That's the primary problem. We say it all the time. LA.
Absolutely. Huge problem.
Primary.
Because you can't do anything about the owner.
We're not here, and I will make I hope not, man. I don't want to make this video, but if this season is a disaster, I'm going to make like a 45-minute video this year. And John Mara is going to get destroyed. Dave Gettleman's going to get destroyed. Yeah, everyone will get destroyed if it comes to that point. But John Mara is the primary source of the problem. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Cody, thank you, my man. Really, really, brother. Appreciate you. Yo, guys, at the game, that stadium is trash. They were flicking Giants fans off. Oh, well, flipping Giants fans off, telling us to go back to New Jersey. I almost went to jail in Maryland. Wow. Don't worry about them, man. Usually Washington fans are pretty good, so I was surprised. I'm surprised to hear that. That stadium is a dump, though. That I do know. That stadium is a dump. I don't know if it's as bad as Philly. Richie Rich, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really, you guys have the best New York Giant content on the planet. Thanks, fellas. You don't need to thank us. Thank you.
I appreciate that, Rob, man. Thank you very much. I saw this before I forget it. I'll tell you real quick. I saw Elvis ask, what do you think Mara should do differently? Well, one, the guy is too safe. All right, for one. The guy will never hire from outside. He's always a guy that plays it safe. He brings in guys that have connections to Mara. I think that's a mistake. You keep doing the same thing. It's insanity, right? We talk about it all the time. That, for one. But two, he screwed up this entire situation. 2015, he had to blow it up. Never did it. He did it halfway, and then he doubled down on the mistake. In 2019, he fired Shermer but kept Gettleman. You either had to keep both or fire both. Mm-hmm. And he elected to keep Gettleman and fire Shermer. He did the same thing before when he kept Reese and he fired Coughlin. And then Reese tried to save his job in 2016. That put us in cap hell. Blah, 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 blah. And the other thing that I can't get out of my head that I keep thinking about, Baddog, I can't get out of my head. And I'm supporting Dan Jones, and I like Dan Jones, and I hope Dan Jones has a big year like I'm hoping he does. But how in the world, if you're John Mara, do you allow – because there is no way you can't convince me that Pat Shermer didn't have a lot to say on that Daniel Jones pick. So if you're John Mara, how do you allow Pat Shermer to draft your next, what you hope is Eli Manning, your next 15 to 17-year quarterback? That's what you're hoping when you draft him. How do you allow Pat Shermer to make that selection if you knew going into the year, if you won 5 games, you were going to fire him? Because Pat Shermer drafted him for a scheme. And if you're going to draft the rookie, I mean, Justin Herbert won 6 games last year. He was one of the greatest rookie years of all time. And I'm not saying Shermer shouldn't have been fired, but how do you allow Shermer to make that selection if you knew you were going to fire him if you only won 5 games?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. That's why we've been in the situation we've been in for a decade, because they do it wrong from the very top. That's a problem. NYG forever. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. I can't bring it up on the screen. I lost it on stream. I already said we all had a flashback to that Thursday night game against Philly last year, but they played the Bucs tough 10 days later when everybody thought they'd roll over, went 5-3 after that. They can turn it around. They can, but they got to play a lot better. There's no doubt about that. Joseph, thank you, brother. Really. I think the players want to be aggressive. I would hope they do.
Yeah.
I would hope. Bernardo, thank you, brother. Really. Julian Love played all season. Yes, he's been out there. He just doesn't start. But he's been out there. He struggled. He struggled this year. Dan Alsonot, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really, my man. My issue with Judge right now is if you know that one game decided the division, why not be more aggressive to win these games? Doesn't every game count? Facts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I did a whole video on them playing scared, and they need to be more aggressive. They really do.
Judge kind of set this tone at the beginning of the year, and as did Golladay with some of his comments. Golladay made sense, but you still don't like him saying it when he said that they're going to come out rusty. And
yeah,
Judge
they were built in excuses.
And Judge said that the first month is like an extension of the preseason.
Yeah, that's really wrong.
Like what?
Judge is messing up pretty good.
Like
everything that he built up, he's tearing down. Quick.
Like how?
In a New York minute, if I dare say, Chris. Because in a New York minute, anybody that's a New Yorker, and most of you in here are New Yorkers, you know how fast that goes. Peter, thank you, brother. Really. I just want a real answer on the defense from Judge or Grandma. Both, don't you? I just want to hear we sucked. I suck. My plan sucked. As New Yorkers, we expect that. If you lose, we don't like it, but we respect when you take ownership. And yeah, one thing I'll say, now I went back and watched Judge's press conference after the Denver game. I will say at least he took accountability. I didn't know he did that. People got on me saying, dude, you're an idiot. But when I screamed that he doesn't know the rules, people are like, you're an idiot. He said this. Number one, I made the video beforehand, and Joe watched it, and that's why I made the excuse. I'm telling you right now. He watched it, and he said, oh, God, I pissed Baddog off. I have to make it. That was bullshit. I'm sorry. His excuse is terrible. He messed up. But he did. He did come out and said, I can't do that. That's what he said. So at least he took ownership for it, but they do need to do it. But you also get sick here and we got to do better. We got to do better. No kidding. No kidding. Peter, thank you, brother. Brilliant. Oh, I got that one. Yeah. Kyle, who I swear could be my brother. Thank you, brother. Brilliant. It says, I bet you wishing we had Evan Ingram right about now. Slayton Evan Ingram 2.0.
I mean, at this point, Evan Ingram can't hurt the offense, and he's definitely a guy that could bring an extra element. We both said that we thought he could have a good year this year with all the added weapons, even though he has drop problems, but it's not like Slayton's not dropping the ball anyway. And hopefully, obviously I hope Evan Ingram's back next week. It can't hurt.
We need him.
Yeah.
We need him.
Can't hurt.
We need any offense will help. Any offense will help. DJ, thank you, my man. Appreciate you, brother. Really. We may have the worst team of talent. Sad. You are getting 2017 vibes. Of course, we had a lot of injuries in 2017, but that was a team that drafted Evan Ingram, which was not smart. Should have went offensive line. Thought the defense was going to be great. Added the weapon to offense with a 22nd pick, and both units sucked.
I got a question.
This year, we go in thinking this is going to be a great defense. They don't address the offensive line. They get Kadarius Toney 20th overall. It's a carbon copy, but without the injuries.
Going into the year, Baddog, real quick, tell me the three things that you were most sure about with this football team.
The secondary.
So defense.
Yeah, the defense was definitely one.
Okay.
Barkley probably, if he was healthy, I'd have been pretty sure Barkley would be good.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else.
I'm going to say defense.
The coaching stuff. I mean, Patrick Graham.
I'm going to say Judge, defense, Patrick Graham.
Yeah.
Those are the three that I'm like, yeah, they'll produce. We'll be all right there. And then tell me the two things that you were most worried about.
Offensive line, without a doubt. Daniel Jones.
What are the two things that are exceeding expectations, and what are the three things that are not? And that's the way the New York Giants are. When you when you think you have something settled and you're worried about something else, that starts to improve, and the thing that you think settled starts to go to. That's the way it's been for the last 8 years with this team, and it could never get on the same wavelength. It's
crazy. By the way, we got 930 people in here. You guys and girls are amazing. Thanks so much for being here. I just want to say, if you haven't done so, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. That helps out the stream. It always helps out when you hit the thumbs up button. It's free, it's easy to do, but it helps out more than you'll ever realize, those thumbs up buttons. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. More importantly, go into the description. The link to the Untitled Talkin Sports is there. If you're new to this channel, we do this show every week. We alternate channels. We also stream every single New York Giants game, and we alternate channels for that. Next week, this show will be on Chris's channel, and the game against the Falcons will also be on Chris's channel. So we appreciate you guys and girls tuning in, spending your Friday night with us as we cover the terrible start to the New York Giants season, and we appreciate all your support. You guys and girls are legendary. That's why this is the best fan base. And I'm serious. Chris and I are very fortunate. We have such. I really can't. I mean, I swear to God, I say this all the time, but you guys are just. I love you guys. I can't. Couldn't do this without you.
I don't
cover such a terrible team.
I don't know how they put up with it.
I don't either. Especially with our faces. We have faces for radio. Ask Stephen Lilly. V-Man, thank you, brother. Really, as a Jets fan, I hope I never see my team knock over the jugular, but feel bad with the way that things are going for your Giants. Will lose New York. Well, I mean, V-Man, don't feel too bad for us. I mean, I even mentioned Jets fans may have had it worse. Now, I did forget, like, the Browns and the Lions and the Cardinals. Like, they've had it worse than us. But the Jets are the first team that popped into my head the last five. Because the Browns haven't won a Super Bowl, but they're good. But the Lions, they've been bad. I mean, they've definitely had it worse than us. There's definitely teams that have had it worse than we have. But when you're like me and you've seen 4 championships, you get a little spoiled. And you expect a little bit more. I didn't grow up like I have older fans saying, I grew up in the 70s. You got to come down because they lived through a crappy period like this. I haven't. The first year I started watching, they made the playoffs. I missed all the bad years, and they were great from 1984 to 2011. And then I've had to deal with this, and I'm just not used to it. So it's rough for me. I'm spoiled. I'm a spoiled Yankee fan. I'm a spoiled Giants fan. I am. Knicks, not so much. Why don't even get mad at the Knicks? Right? Because the Knicks have been bad my entire life. Outside of the 90s, and they're competitive. They've been bad for 20 years.
The Knicks make the
Till
playoffs.
last
It
year.
feels like we won a championship.
Right. Pimp, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really. Wait, so many of biggest Dave Gettleman's critics are now giving him passes to Joe Judge just because they like him. How fair is that, guys? You shouldn't give passes to anybody, in my opinion, man. Everybody deserves blame.
Listen, and I know this, Pimp. I think I talk to you all the time on Twitter. It infuriates me when, and Gettleman sucks right now. Gettleman looks like a fool, but it infuriates me preseason when anything positive was Judge and anything negative was Gettleman, and everybody says that that Judge makes all the decisions. Like, no. It's got to be fair. You can't. If you blame Gettleman for the bad things and you give Judge credit for the no. If you say Judge has control, he's got to get blamed for the bad things, and you got to give him credit for the good, just like Gettleman. So
great.
The fan base picks favorites, and they go after.
They do, and that's every fan base. That's not just us.
And Garrett's been the punching bag now and not to say that Garrett's great, he's not, but he's been the punching bag now for over a year because he's been the pinata. He's been the easy target, but there's a lot more. He was kind of the scapegoat for people not to attack Joe Judge. That's the way I looked at it.
Right.
And now I think people are starting to give Joe Judge more responsibility.
As well they should. Bear, thank you, my man. Really, brother. Appreciate you with Slayton dropping passes, move Tony up in the depth chart, give him a chance. Could not agree more. Slayton had a great rookie season. He had a terrible last year. He's a fifth-round pick. You can't expect Slayton to be a number one receiver. He's a fifth-round pick. He could be a really nice number 3, maybe, but you got to give Tony a chance. You have to at least see what you got. He can't be worse. Now, Slayton did catch the first touchdown. Slayton runs very nice routes, but he has had a case of the drops the last 2 years. And the problem is, it's like Evan Ingram now. Evan Ingram's always open, but God almighty. And DJ trusts these guys. He throws it at Malta, which is why Galladay was pissed off. He throws it the same guys because he had that really good rapport with them in 2019. He trusts them. But Slayton, Daniel Jones has to realize, I can't trust this guy in a big spot. He's got to realize I can't trust Ingram. They don't come through for me. I got to try something else.
Yep.
So I get why Galladay was upset. But Slayton, again, Tony needs a shot. You got to try something different. The offense was good last night, but you got to try something different. DJ, thank you, brother. Really. Daniel Jones needs a ball like Josh Allen, sadly. Well, he's not going to do that.
He doesn't have the help that Josh Allen has. I mean,
he just has to do what he did last night. Our defense needs to play, and we're going to win some games.
I mean, Josh Allen is a great scheme. He's got a great offensive line. You don't have that, man.
No. Pimp, thank you, brother. Really. We don't beat Atlanta. The season's over. I'm sorry. If we don't beat Atlanta, we're in deep doo-doo, man.
Yeah.
Deep doo-doo. It's funny, speaking of doo-doo. So I put the video out last night. I wake up this morning. I see it's got limited ads for monetization. And I say, are you kidding me? I'm like, what are you talking about? Major profanity. I'm like, I didn't swear that much. I didn't swear that much in that video more than any other video. Chris, I went back and watched that. Oh, I was swearing like a trucker. I was mad. I was like, okay, they're right. I went off the chain. I went a little insane. And I try not because really I don't really care about the limited ad thing, but whatever. But I know there's a lot of younger people that watch it, so I try to control my swearing to a point. I don't want to just have a profanity-laden rant. I try to clean it up, but I was really – when I watched that bag of God, I was really pissed. And I did. I said this year on the streams, I want to hold it in, and I'll let it all out in the post-game video. That's where you're going to see all my rage. And last night I was worried, so it was – boy, what a way to lose. What a freaking way to lose, man. Al, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, my good man. Anybody got a problem? I'll send my man Al Betts over there. So he says, Dog and C, my guys lost for words. I'm too old for this crap.
Yeah,
you and me both.
Glad to see you, Al, man. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
They're going to kill me, Al. They're going to kill me. Chris Knight, thank you so much. Appreciate you, really. I'm guessing that's a Barkley fan with the $26 super chat. He says, we got to hang in there, guys. Last night, look at the way he spelled nights. I see what you did there, Chris. Last night hurts. I see you, my man. I like that. I like this cerebral messages like that. But we got to do something. We'll be all right. The Giants might be all right, Chris. I don't know about me.
Oh, Chris, I'm not. I'm hanging in there. Trust me. I'm not. it's a 17 game season, man. It's 2 games in. There's no way you're going to see me quit on this team right now. We got a game we got to win against Atlanta. I'm not going to lie to you. We lose to Atlanta, I'm going to be very deflated. I'm still going to be interested in the rest of the year, and Daniel Jones is going to be a big part of it and seeing how he can progress as a quarterback. But we go 0-3. It's going to be tough to convince myself and you guys that we have a shot at the playoffs.
Alejandro, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Brilly, little fist bump. I always like the ones I can act out very easily. I like those. Steve Watson, thank you, brother. Brilly, our friend north of the border. Sup, boys, a designated Canadian fan. Unreal how many times I have to suffer hungover at work with these brutal primetime losses. Go Giants, no matter what. And that's what I love, Steve. Like I said, I have so many people like, Baddog, screw this team. I'm done. I'm not watching them this year. And I'm like, I understand, but you'll be right there on Chris's channel next week. We're talking Giants and for the game. We scream, we hate this team. I'm done. The hell with them. And we're there every week. You know why? Because we're fans. Because we're some of the most loyal fans there are.
Yep.
There are. And that's what it is. That's what a fan does. You don't give up on your team. There's a lot of fair weather. Dallas is the biggest fair weather fan base there is. Listen, I hate the Eagle fans. Hate them. But they're like us. They are very, very loyal to their team, good or bad. They're also delusional, good or bad, too, but they are very loyal to their team to a full, like we are. Philadelphia and New York are very similar. Dallas, though, they're very fair weather. They will not be around if they're bad, and they'll be right there if they're good. And trust me, I live in upstate New York, and I see that with the gear, so I know firsthand. Blake, thank you, brother. Really. Only 2 losses worse than this 2002 playoff loss to the 49ers, the botch snap, and the Miracle in the Meadowlands, too. You're younger, Blake. 97 against the Vikings. 97 against the Vikings, rough. That was a bad one.
That was bad.
89 against the Rams. That was bad.
That one I don't remember.
Yeah, you're young. Thanks for rubbing that in. It was 13, so that was rough.
97 I remember.
97, 89, and 2008. The 2008 loss to the Eagles was the worst in the playoffs.
For me, and that was bad, but I almost I shouldn't say I expected it, but I wasn't going to be shocked because that team fell apart at the end of the year.
The Eagles were hotter. They were a hotter team.
They only won 1 out of the last 4 or 5 after Burr shot himself. So I almost went into that game being like, yeah, we're probably going to lose. Or at least I was prepared for it. The 49ers game, the way in which we lost, it was just devastating. And the miracle at the Meadowlands, if we won that game, who knows? That team, if you got in, who knows what, where we could have went. So I would put those 2 above the Eagles game, actually. Yeah.
Philly Fan D, thank you. Brilly. Appreciate it, my man. Giants blow it, and I laugh. Only team who won a championship every decade since 1980. Stop crying. I always love the term crying. So so this is the way I look at it. Philly Fan D is not a real fan. That's the way I look at this. Because if you lose like that and you ain't pissed off, I'm sorry, you don't care about your team. If a loss like that does not piss you off as a fan, nobody's sitting there literally got tears in their eyes crying. But if that loss does not piss you off, there's something wrong with your fandom. I don't tell people how to root for their team, but if you lose like that, the way they did last night, you're telling me, Philly Van D, if you lost like that, you're going to go, I don't care.
This would be Philly Van D watching the game.
What's that?
This would be him watching the game.
Right.
All right.
Oh,
that's a great job. That was a great job. He did a great job trying to block that kick. Good job, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Good job,
Lawrence. Shucks. We lost.
We'll get him next game. We'll get him next game, buddy.
My ass. Yeah. My hairy Italian ass, Chris. Okay. War Pig, thank you, brother. Brilly. Slayton's drop only helps motivate Ingram even more now. They're not dropping anything. Go Big Blue. 420 crew, you know what to do. Carew, smoke him because you got him. War Pig Williams in the 420 call, man. Thank you, War Pig. Appreciate you, buddy. Cortez, thank you, my man. Brilly. Any average quarterback can come back with 2 minutes left with a field goal to win. Also, I didn't realize Slayton soaked his gloves in grease.
Seems that way, man.
I've just never understood people saying, "Oh, you're crying." Like I said, if you're a fan, man, you're going to be pissed off when your team loses.
Yeah.
I just don't get that. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any. Come on. Come on. Where is that? Oh, let's go. DJ, my man, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. So let me get this straight. You're saying the Bills' offensive coordinator is better than Garrett, Chris?
Of course he is.
Why can't we run plays like them up there?
We don't have they have a better team than we do, but they have a better quarterback. They have a better offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't have the personnel they have.
Yeah,
they got a better offensive line too.
Yeah, it's their offensive line. I know has taken a little bit of a step back this year, but it was very good last year. I know it was only game one, and I guess Bills fans have concerns this year. I have heard that, but I still would take their line over ours. And yeah. Josh Allen is ridiculous, and yeah, I mean it's not easy to get an OC like that.
Absolutely. L.A. Lou, appreciate you, my man. Love L.A. Lou. L.A. Lou's the freaking man. I can't bring it up because I lost it on StreamYard. He says, I expect more of a stout defense from Graham. Isn't Bradbury more of a lockdown corner? Could this be softer D than why Bradbury has been struggling? I mean, maybe. I don't know what the difference is, man. Bradbury was such a shutdown guy last year, and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know, man. I mean, part of it might be the scheme and the play calling and the way that they're trying to use Bradbury. Maybe. But yeah, I don't know. He just hasn't been doing it the way he did last year, for sure. So
definitely not. Mike Gorga, thank you, brother. Really appreciate you. He says, concern Tony is a slow study. Well, the only way you're going to get him acclimated to the NFL is by playing him. I know he wasn't there for the preseason.
I have to think they're gonna start playing him soon. They have to. I will give them a pass if they start giving him a bigger role at week 3. Because, all right, maybe because he barely played in preseason, he was hurt. The games were 4 days apart. You didn't feel like he was ready. Okay, he's got to have a much bigger role against Atlanta. He's got to have a much bigger role against Atlanta. He's got to start getting involved in this offense.
Yep. Sticky fingertips, thank you, my man. Appreciate you. Really. All Slayton can do is run fast in straight lines. That's fine if he's open, and he's been open, but he can't catch.
Yeah.
Be nice if he could catch. JC, thank you, my man. Really appreciate you. When is the ESPN deal coming for you two? So many people in New York will listen to you two in the morning on the radio. Current guys are out of touch on the radio. It's true. I know about you, Chris. We get this comment a lot, and obviously really appreciate it. This is probably my favorite comment that we received. Because sign us up right now. I will quit my if WFAN comes calling.
I do it right now, JC. That if ESPN calls us right now, I'll do it 5 days a week. I'll do a 3-hour shift.
Right.
Me and Baddog at prime time, 5 to 8. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm in.
Or 2 to 5, whatever. Let's do it, man. But I agree with them, and it's not because we're great. It's because when I listen to sports radio, they're horrible. I say it all the time.
They are.
I listen to Carton and
Evan. Or Evan, right?
Oh my God, they're horrible. They are bad. They don't even talk about sports half the time.
Sometimes we don't either, to be fair.
Yeah, well, their show is basically a talking nonsense stream for at least half of it.
Yeah, well, depending on how it goes, sometimes that's the way it goes with us too. Sean, thank you, brother. Really. You see Steve Smith say DJ could be good with a different offensive coordinator. That's the popular consensus. Well, you know what? We're going to find out. Jason Garrett will not be back here next year. No matter what, he won't be back here. He will not be back.
I agree. I've thought that for quite some time. If Judge stays, I think they already got the guy that's going to replace Garrett on the staff. I don't know which guy it'll be, but I think they do have a plan. And I think Garrett's going to go and get a job somewhere else. So we'll see. But yeah, that's just my opinion.
L.A. Lou, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, really. Chris, for someone who has an affinity for Dolphins, how can you not know Giants' heartache at the hands of someone named Flipper Anderson? Because he was 3. He didn't see it. I've told this story before. My cousin is a Dolphins fan, ironically enough. My cousin's a Dolphins fan. He's a year younger than me. And the Giants are really good when we were growing up, and the Dolphins were good, but they weren't Super Bowl winners like the Giants in '86. And he would always call him bust my balls. No sooner did Flipper catch that pass, my phone rang. I told my mom, tell him I'm outside. I didn't want to talk to him. I was so pissed about Flipper Anderson. And I know you loved it. You're a Rams fan. But God almighty, the Rams and Giants had some really good games in the 80s, man. They had the Rams usually got the better of us in the 80s. That was a tough team with Jim Everett, Dickerson, Flipper Anderson, Henry Ellard. The Rams were pretty. Kevin Green was on that team.
Kevin Green. I remember he played
they were pretty good.
A long time, Kevin. He ended up with the 49ers at one point.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yeah. He was a good player.
New York Yankee, brilliant. Love that name. He says, I'm still not over last night's loss, but it's encouraging to see how Daniel Jones performed. Jones has all the tools. He just needs to be confident. New York Yankee, I don't know how long you've been a part of the channel, or I say that is like my quote on a consistent basis, is that Daniel Jones has such a great skill set, but he needs to be confident. And I thought he played confident last night.
Yeah, well, I need to see the coaching staff continue to put more confidence into him. But to me, Baddog, I asked this question and I'm curious to get your take on this. And I'm curious to get the chat's take on this also, because I do think it's a really good hypothetical. I'm going to give you two hypotheticals. Giants go 10-7, but Jones has like a Trubisky-like year when the Bears made the playoffs. When they went like 11-5, Jones is like mediocre. The defense kind of carries him in. Giants go 7-10, but Jones has a top 12-10 type quarterback year. Which one are you taking?
That's tough. It's tough. I'd take the 7-10 and Daniel Jones playing well.
I'm with you.
If the franchise quarterback is the most important part of your team, you can fix your defense. Yeah. I would take Daniel Jones balling out and proving he's a franchise quarterback and going 7-10, just so you know that you're set there, and then you build around your quarterback. That's what teams are supposed to do anyway.
That's the way
I'd much rather know that we have him.
And then I think that is possible, because the defense looks bad right now. So if the defense doesn't get it together, Jones could still have a really good year, and we could win 7 games if this defense doesn't look better. And then you take those 2 draft picks, you fill in your holes, you get your edge rusher, you get your offensive lineman, and you go from there. So I would much rather end the year with Jones being like a top 10 guy. And obviously you want both. You want 10-7,
yes.
Top 10 guy. But, for people that say, oh, well, if he's top 10, they'll win 10 games. I mean, Deshaun Watson is a top 5 guy. They won 4 games. So
right.
you need a team around you. So I do think it's possible. This defense has to get a lot better. But that's the way I look at it. And it could still be a very productive season this year if Jones takes that huge leap. And at least it'll save us from not having to go through another rebuild. At that point, you're like, all right, let's build around this guy. Let's try to compete for a Super Bowl with this guy as our quarterback. So that's my take too. I agree with you. I think it's more important for Jones to have a monumental leap if it's possible.
I agree. Construction worker Saban, Brilly. Appreciate you, my guy. I rep the OC. Allowing 0+ yards is inexcusable. Yeah. Saban, you got to teach Joe Judge this, because he worked under you. Tyler Skidmore, thank you, brother. Brilly. Jeremy Pruitt, who is a successful defensive coordinator under Saban, Judge Ties, is on the staff. Is he there to replace Graham?
Possible. That's the guy they got from Tennessee.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I hope not. I mean, I want Graham to work out. He was good last year. I'm not quitting on him after 2 games, but he's got to get it together.
Yeah. Blake, thank you, my man. Appreciate you, brother. Really. Regardless of the outcome of the season, if DJ can develop into a good quarterback and has looked the part so far versus 2 good defense, we'll have something to look forward to. Yep, just covered that.
Yeah.
I want Daniel Jones to prove me wrong, man. I've been so up and down on Daniel Jones. I'm so high and low on Daniel Jones. I don't know where to, because he is, I told you, to me, Daniel Jones is that bad relationship with the hot girl. You know, she treats it like shit. You break up. It's terrible. I hate this. I hate her. Then she comes back and says, oh, I'm sorry. We can work it out. You're like, oh, I love her. Yeah, she's my girl. We're going to be together forever. Then she does it again. You're like, damn it. I can't stand her. Then she comes back and says, oh, I'm sorry. You know, I've changed, and you take her back. That's me and Daniel Jones. Like, I don't know where to stand with this guy. I love him 1 week. I hate him. There's like no in between. Like so I'm high, but I just want him to be consistent, so I can just say I love this freaking guy.
Yeah,
you know that
we all want that. We all want. And Eli, and I'm not comparing him to Eli. Eli was an elite quarterback prospect when he came in. He was a consensus number 1 overall pick. He was the first overall pick in the 2nd greatest quarterback draft class in the history of the NFL. So I'm not putting them on the same wavelength, but it was the same thing with Eli Manning when he came in. Love, hate. So hopefully he turns the corner this year, man.
Great. Jeremiah, another great Eagle fan. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate your classy post-game. Was mine really classy? A lot of people said that. I guess it's because I give props to Washington at the beginning of it before I have a coronary. And he says, but the Giants still stink. Can't argue. Always enjoy you two's content. Go Birds. Appreciate you, Jeremiah.
Appreciate that, Jeremiah, man. Thank you for checking out the content, buddy.
Chris Knight, thank you, my man. Really. You know if Ingram is playing next week versus Atlanta? Don't know yet.
I haven't heard anything. I'm leaning no with the calf strain, but they might. I mean, we had 2, like we said earlier, 2 games 4 days apart, so that might have been the target all along. I don't know how bad
10 days off now, so
yeah.
Let's hope. We could use him, even though the offense hasn't been the problem. We could certainly use another weapon out there. Chris Peace, thank you, my man. Brilly, who are your top 4 picks for offense coordinator, defense coordinator going into next year?
I don't even know what the head coach is going to be right now. I don't even know the head coach.
Eric Bieniemy is the guy everybody talks about, but Bieniemy is going to get a head coaching job.
Yeah. Oh no. Bieniemy's not coming here to be an OC.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what the name I hear a lot.
Yeah. Listen, if it's from within the staff, because the judge stays, I really do believe the next OC is going to be from within the staff. And at that point, I think you're looking at Kitchens. I think you're looking at the guy we brought in from LSU. What's his name? Ross Callaway. I think you're looking at him. I think you're looking at Kitchens, and I think you're looking at maybe Schliplinsky, who's the quarterback coach. I think
somebody just said Pruitt for defense coordinator. So
yeah, I think that's what you're looking at. I think they'd at least with the OC, if they stick with Jones and we stick with Judge as the head coach, and Garrett moves on, I think they're going to bring in somebody who's familiar with Jones that's already on this coaching staff.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be from within. I'd be shocked if it wasn't. Unless they change head coaches, then a head coach is going to bring in his own guys. So we'll see what that. Let's hope we don't have to worry about this stuff. But so far, it's a worry. Javi G, thank you, brother. Really, I appreciate you, my man. He says, y'all need to start a podcast. I can hear y'all every day. I got my brother to subscribe to y'all this week. Y'all keep it up, goats.
Appreciate that, Javi.
Definitely appreciate you guys always sharing and getting people to subscribe and watch the channel. That means the world to us. So thank you, man. Peter Lee, thank you, brother. Really, Baddog, have you recovered from yesterday's loss? No. No, I haven't. Duke bothers. At least I got my Sooners, Duke. The Sooners should rip Nebraska a new one tomorrow. Thank you, brother. Really. Was Jason Garrett winning coach of the year just a weird dream, or did it actually happen?
I think he won it twice, unless I'm thinking of Ron Rivera. I think he won it twice. Maybe Rivera was the guy that won it twice.
Speaking of dreams, so I say in my video that Darius Slayton should go to the gas station with Andrew Heaney and Chad Green and pump gas because it's been my thing. They should be pumping gas in Jersey. A guy told me in my community notes, he goes, I had a freaking dream of Darius Slayton, Chad Green, and Andrew Heaney at the gas station. I go, did you really? He goes, I swear to God. He's like, I had that dream. He goes, you must have put that on my head, but it was weird, but it was funny. Chef MQ, thank you so much for a $10. Boom! I appreciate that, my good man. DJ, thank you, my man. Really. Daniel Jones needs to extend the plays and throw dimes and swagger and confident. Graham and Judge sucks. Garrett needs to be fired. He needs to be top 10 to 5. Talking about Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I got my numbers around like no less than like he's got to be at least middle of the pack by year's end for me, Jones. He's got to be like at a bare minimum middle of the pack. With obviously trending upwards. That's like my minimum.
Right.
And right now, so far, I think he's trending that way. But obviously, we got a long way to go this year, and hopefully, can keep it up, man.
Where are we? I'm just looking for that super sticker. I couldn't see what that was. Where'd that go? Up here. Oh, Arsini, thank you so much for the super sticker. Really. Game over. Game over indeed. Game wasn't over. We thought it was. I know, Chris, I don't know if you were looking. I know I got up screaming, yeah, turn around, flag.
I was going nuts.
Well, I know, but I didn't know which one of us saw it first.
Oh, I don't remember. I think you did. I think you saw it first.
Joseph Clark, thank you. Really. DJ on pace for 32 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Hope I didn't jinx it. You know what the problem is?
There's no way he's doing that.
I know. You know what the problem is, though, Joseph? We're on pace to go 0-17.
Yes,
that's the bigger issue.
Yeah.
LA Lou, thanks so much. Appreciate you. Really. Will they ever see a running back like Dickerson again? 6'3", 220 running back who ran like a 5'10", 200. He's a freaking nature. We already saw him. Adrian Peterson. 6'2", 217. Freaking nature. Almost broke Dickerson's record. That's why when people are like, Saquon Barkley knee, blah, blah, blah. Adrian Peterson tore his ACL at Oklahoma, coming out of Oklahoma, and he tore it in the NFL. And the year after he tore it, he almost broke Dickerson's record. We have seen it. And I love Dickerson, but Adrian Peterson's one of the greatest, probably the second greatest running back I saw to Barry Sanders. That guy there was nothing like him.
Peterson, since I've been watching football, Barry Sanders was more explosive, but Peterson is the best natural runner of the
amazing.
A pure runner. Like Tomlinson was great. He was a dual threat, great receiving.
Marshall
back.
Faulk was a dual threat.
Faulk,
great
same thing. Curtis Martin was consistent, really good back. But in terms of just a runner, Yeah, man. I mean, I mean, we got some good. Derrick Henry's really good too on the Titans, but I got to go with AP, man.
The whole reason I'm a Sooner fan is because of him.
Yeah, that guy was a beast.
I freaking loved Adrian Peterson, man. There was talk about Adrian Peterson coming to the Giants when the season started. I even though he wouldn't have done anything, I'm like, I would have just loved to have him in Giants, just so I could buy an Adrian Peterson Giants jersey.
Yeah.
Because I love AP. I got to get a Peterson Sooners jersey. That needs to happen. That has to happen. I wanted a Kyler Murray Sooners jersey too. I think I got to buy both of those. Sooners, Peterson, and Kyler Murray. They're on deck for Baddog. Irish, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you, really, really. Giants fan perspective, the Giants won the NFL championship in 1956. Were bad until 1987. That's 31 years. Thoughts through the ups and downs. Giants fans stick with their team, frustrated, but always loyal. Go Giants. That's what we don't. Well, they were in the championship. They were in the championship game in 58. I think they were in a championship game in 62 and 63, maybe. And then they were bad. Well, that's what I say, and I've told the story a lot, Irish. When we won the Super Bowl in 86, my dad, who was born in 54, God rest his soul, he grew up in the 60s and 70s, saw really bad Giants teams. And when they won it, he was, had tears of joy, and he told me, he said, kid, because I was 10 years old in January of 87. And so I was spoiled. I mean, I started watching the Giants 2 years ago, and he said, kid, enjoy it. You don't know when you're going to see it again. Mm-hmm. And luckily, I've seen it 3 times after that. And so did my dad. And unfortunately, I haven't seen it since, but at least I got to see that. So I missed. This is why I'm having such a tough time with this, Irish, because I didn't grow up in the bad era. But this has to be like the 70s. It's got to be. So you guys that experienced it, they know.
I've been watching the Giants pretty religiously since the mid-90s, and this is by far the darkest time since I've been watching the team.
It's been bad.
Yeah.
Tyler, thank you, brother. Really, really appreciate you. DJ's an underdeveloped Josh Allen. DJ don't have a skill set. Allen's more athletic, faster, better arm.
I don't know if he's faster. Jones is pretty damn fast.
Jones is fast. Yeah, that's true.
Allen is big though, and I said I said it when they drafted him. When I got to see him play in his first game, and I think he's got a stronger arm. Cam Newton. That's what I think of when I watch Josh Allen. Newton. With a stronger arm. That's the quarterback he reminds me of.
Yeah. By the way, we still have 850 people in here. You guys and girls are the best. Again, if you haven't done so, do me a favor. Smack that thumbs up button. That always helps out the stream. Like I said, if Chris and I ever do a video, you guys really want to help out the channel, that's the best way to help it out, by hitting the thumbs up, by commenting, sharing it, everything else is the best way to support the channel. Appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, but more importantly, go into the description. The link to the Entertainer Talkin' Sports is there. If you happen to be new, just tuning in, we do this show every week. We alternate channels. We also cover all the Giants games. We stream them together. We also alternate channels. So next week, Atlanta Falcon game and Talking Giants on this handsome man to my left, I think, the Moss God. Make sure you subscribe. To the links in the channel. Look at that. I can't do that. I could do that 25 years ago. Benjamin, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really, really. He says, bad luck. I hear what you're saying. Remember, the proven stats that Max isn't into women. He dumped Brandon Rodgers to marry Jared Williams, only to have an affair with Brandon. Where do you come up with this stuff? Benjamin, I needed you yesterday with this. Tutto, grazie. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you. All we ask Eagle fans and links to take off their jerseys, throw it on the ground, step on it. If they don't, we'll do it for them and a little more. I told you, Tutto's part of the mob.
All right, Tutto.
Don't mess with the Tutto mob. The guy's from Palermo. You don't mess with anybody from Palermo. And I'm watching Bronx Tale, by the way. I always have Bronx Tale on. Never mess with an Italian guy in a suit. Just don't. Just don't. You don't need. That's free advice. Don't ever mess with an Italian guy in a suit. I don't care if they're not connected. You don't do it. That's why I like to go to the track in a suit.
They're not connected. They know a guy who is.
Listen. Once in a while, I like to go to Saratoga racetrack in a suit just so nobody messes with me. They probably like, oh, that guy's something. I'm nothing, but they're like, yeah, that guy's something. Corte, especially when I go like this, this. I wear the gold pinky ring and all the jewelry, and they're like, yeah, I'm not messing with that guy. Cortez, thank you, brother. Really, really appreciate you. Shepard needs to tell these guys about 2017. Also, guys, comfortable that we might become Dallas, where we have a shootout with everyone. I would love our offense to be like Dallas.
I don't think our offense is that good.
No. And I don't think our defense is that bad. I do
think our offense could put up, I definitely could see our offense averaging 26 or 27.
That'd be nice.
I don't know what Dallas averaged last year, but I could see. Well, last year they were hurt, but I could see us averaging like 25, 26, 27 points a game. Last year we only averaged 17. But our defense, I mean, they got to get better, man. They got to get much better.
Way better. Steve, man, thank you so much. Steve Robbins, really appreciate you, my good man. He says, I feel like a consistent Daniel Jones has a pretty high ceiling. I'm thinking Matt Ryan during his MVP season if he cleans up the turnovers. I agree. Listen,
I just want to see consistency before I start thinking about what.
But that's what he's saying. The consistency.
Yeah. I know what he's saying. I think I've said it all along, man. I think Tannehill is a great comparison. Tannehill was
I like the Alex Smith one. That's the one I want.
He's got a bigger arm than Alex Smith, though, man.
I know, but Alex Smith was a guy that had talent. He was mobile like Daniel Jones. He was accurate. He didn't turn it over.
Yeah,
I've been saying he could be a rich man's Alex Smith.
Yeah, Tannehill. I mean, I don't think people realize, man. And maybe I don't get to watch him on an every game basis now. Tannehill's got legs.
He can run. I told you he was one of our favorite fantasy guys because he did it in Miami all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he's a former wide receiver when he first came in the league, but I remember people compared him and people looked at that as like a knock, but Tannehill's a damn good quarterback, and I see that. I could see that for Jones.
Yeah. Phil Chimbolo, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, my man. Really, hey, Dog and Tainah, love your channels. Thanks for giving us Giants fans a venue to recover together. Hell or high water, I'll be cheering from Section 210. We appreciate you. Well, if you're cheering from Section 210 on November 28th, come hang out with us. We'll be there. Chris and I will be there for the Eagles game.
Looking forward to meeting you, Phil.
Looking forward to meeting all you guys and girls that are there.
Absolutely.
And we got time. Thank you, brother. Really, if we had Claypool, we wouldn't need to. He loves Claypool. This is true.
Yeah, if we had Claypool, we wouldn't have signed Galladay because I feel like they're kind of similar.
Facts.
Type of receiver. We wouldn't have signed Galladay if we drafted Claypool.
Facts. Jonathan Peck, thank you, brother. Brilly, or is it Petch? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. He says, how do you feel about Galladay? To me, it seems that he's not too happy with how Jason's using him. He needs to start going deep because that's what he does. He needs to be more involved in the game plan. You paid him $72 million, but Daniel Jones also needs to throw it to him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I saw the video of that, and I think Bobby actually pointed this out on Twitter, and I watched it, and I think he was absolutely right. I don't think Galladay was yelling at Jones when you watch that video.
No, even Jones said he's not yelling at me.
Yelling at Garrett. He was yelling at Garrett.
Yes.
And Jones interjected. That's what it looked like to me. And I think Jones was trying to calm down Galladay. So it seemed like Galladay wasn't happy with, I guess, whatever the play call was, and he wanted a play drawn up his way. That's my guess. But I don't think he was yelling at Jones. That was how it was perceived last night. But I don't think he was. I think he was yelling at Garrett.
Yeah. Where are we going? What did I miss? Wow. How did I miss all these? Holy cow. All these things disappeared. Amit, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, brother. Brilly says, food for thought. Brian Flores never resisted to retain Pat Graham when Judge recruited him to make us when we Judge recruited him, make me often think that Flores saw some flaws and deficiencies in his defensive scheme.
Yeah, well, Hamid, when he was with Miami, I remember when we brought him in, the book was that he thought he was doing a bad job. He stripped him of play calling duties halfway through the year because they thought that I actually had a Miami Dolphins YouTuber on my channel when we were bringing these coaches in because we were bringing in a lot of guys from Flores. And he's great. I love him. I've worked with him in the past. I'll probably work with him when we play the Dolphins. Dougley Do-Rung. He's got a great channel. But he was telling me about Patrick Graham, and the book on him was he thought he was way too aggressive with the Miami Dolphins. I think he talked about a play where there was like 7 seconds to go in the half, and he sent an all-out blitz, and they caught like a 60-yard touchdown. And Flores stripped him of play calling duties, I think, shortly after that because he didn't think he was doing a good job. And obviously he had ties to Judge, obviously, when they coached at New England, he got the job. But yeah, it was not perceived that he did a good job with the Miami Dolphins the year before. Yeah, exactly. But he did such a great job with us the first year that you're thinking, wow, I mean, this guy can do it. But, I don't know. We're 7 likes away from 500, guys. If there's 7 people that could hit the like to get 500, that'd be awesome. Peter Lee, thank you, brother. Really appreciate you. Giants need to replace Jones with Bryce Young. Not going to worry about quarterbacks right now. Right now, I'm worried about the defense more than anything else. Let's replace him. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, we don't have to replace Jones. Hopefully, Jones plays the rest of the year the way he did last night, and then we ain't got to worry about it. That'd be really nice. If nothing else comes out of this season, if Daniel Jones proves he can be a franchise quarterback and be our guy for the next 10 to 15 years, that would be a win.
in my opinion. Stan, thank you, brother. Really appreciate you. DJ pattern is a game like this once a month. I still have to see it against someone not named Washington and consistently be sold. They did great yesterday. I could not agree.
Don't agree with that, Stan. Nobody.
Yeah, totally agree.
Anybody that is completely saying that they're completely sold on Daniel Jones right now is just putting blind faith. Like, I really liked what I saw though, and I do think people who say that he always beats Washington, I don't think that's fair because this defense is much better than the Washington defense from 2019. This was the best defense Jones has ever had a very good performance against in his entire career, which is why I was so impressed by the performance. Mm-hmm. You look at his vintage performances in his career, and there aren't many. They came against the Jets. They came against the Lions. They came against Washington when their defense was god awful. This was
Tampa, the other one.
Tampa, who had
when they had no film on him.
Yeah, they had no. Yeah. Oh no, I'm talking about Tampa last. Oh, he played horrible against Tampa last year.
No, it's rookie season.
Yeah. But I would say this was the best defense he had a really good game against in his career.
L.A. Lou, thank you, brother. Really, under what could have been. Billy Sims could have been the greatest ever, but knee injuries derailed him. He was amazing. Yeah, he was another Sooner and a Lion. And I don't know if he was playing when I started watching. I know the name. I know he's an early 80s guy. Earl Campbell's another one, had a really short career with the Oilers just because his body took such a beating. But you want to talk about a big back. Earl Campbell killed people.
I've seen highlights on Earl Campbell.
Nobody wanted to tackle Earl Campbell. He was a big
back. Was George, too, who played for the Titans. Eddie George.
Nobody bigger back than Christian Okoye.
Yeah.
Steve Atwater lit him up. Tutto, grazie, brilli, says for every losing season, more Eagles fans have broken noses and missing front teeth. They should all pray and cheer for every New York Giants game. I told you, Tutto, they ain't going to have no teeth left because we've been losing a lot. Well, hopefully when you go to the stink this year, you can let them know to stop trolling the Giants. New York Yankee. By the way, I think we actually won a game tonight, which is nice. Maybe we can make the playoffs. I really don't, and I really do at the same time, want a Yankee Red Sox wild card. If the Yankees make the playoffs, I want to stream it. But
let me take a look. What's the standings for you guys?
We're really close. We were a half game behind Toronto and Boston going in for the last wild card. I don't know what Toronto, but Toronto was losing. Boston was winning.
Toronto lost. You're a half game up on Toronto. You're a half game behind Boston.
Yeah. So right now, it'll be Yankees and Boston. I burned a Boston hat. We'll be putting that back on the channel.
So you got what? You got how many games?
Did you see that video? I burned a Boston hat. I burned a Boston hat.
Yeah.
I burned that Boston hat. Somebody sent me. Johnster sent that to me. Didn't know that till last night. Burnt it, roasted marshmallows, and drank a beer. That's coming back on my channel. I did. I'm putting that back on my channel.
You got 14 games left. I just looked. So you got a shot, man.
And we have 3 against Toronto, 3 against Boston, 3 against Tampa. But the Boston and Toronto series are going to be playoff series.
Yeah.
I've been saying I'm not going to stream a Yankee game until the playoffs. If I may stream one of those Boston games. It might have to happen. But Janky, thank you so much. He says, disgusted with the passive offense at the end. I wasn't happy either. Got to play to win.
Too scared, man. 2 weeks in a row.
John, thank you, my man. Really appreciate you. Love what I saw from our O-line. After losing Gates, rip his leg. Thoughts on Peppers questioning Graham's play calling and KT Galladay and Bradbury questioning Jason Garrett. Is Judge losing the rock? That's what my video is going to be on tomorrow.
Yeah. Hopefully not. It's a high pressured environment. They all know that was a big game. Hopefully they're just, they want to win. They're competitors, but
that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. But for sure, I guess it's concerning. You knew Peppers was upset week 1 when he only had 40% of the snaps. So for sure.
Yeah. Al Bats, thank you, brother. Really. He says Palermo. He laughs. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what part Al's from. Palermo. You got a kick out of that. Irish Rover, not from Palermo. Really, thank you so much. He says, going on vacation to Secaucus, New Jersey, to visit my sister. Hope to meet up with Slayton at the pump. I don't know why that's right. Yeah, I got that from Rocky, by the way. In case you're wondering where the hell I pump and gas in Jersey. Because in Rocky 2, when Adrian is pregnant and she's not feeling, she doesn't want him to fight. So his heart's not into it. And he's training like crap. And Mick says, because you're training like a 9th grade pug who ought to be pumping gas in Jersey. So that always stuck with me. So whenever somebody sucks, I'm like, they ought to be pumping gas in Jersey.
That's my favorite thing about Jersey. It's one of the
That
few things
the
I
full
like
service
about it.
gas stations.
Yeah, I don't got to pump gas. Outside of that, no offense to anybody that's in Jersey, you can't even make U-turns where you guys are. You can't go to a 7-Eleven and get beer. I mean, come on, man.
I'm trying to think of when the hell we got beer when we
I had to
went
go to
down there.
I had to go to like a wine, like
That's where we went. No, I think it was a gas. I think it was a gas station.
I couldn't get one at a gas.
Maybe we did it right outside right outside of Jersey.
I had to go, yeah, when I got it before the game, I had to go to like a beer and wine store.
I don't know. Whatever. I'll be bringing the beer again. So you swing by the hotel, you got cold ones on the bed. Diggity dizzle.
Let's do it.
Tell me what you want. Tell me what your preferences. We'll hook you up. You know that. I'm looking forward to that again. I'll be screaming from the hotel again. Why the hell not? That's
let's do it, man.
Me, DWG. I don't know if the Don's going, but DWG and I definitely got to go down there. DJ, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really, really. DJ's the next Peyton Manning with a good. Well, I'm not going there. I'm not gonna compare him to Peyton. I'll say he could be, like I said, I think his ceiling, I still think his ceiling is rich man's Alex Smith, and that would be really good. But Peyton,
DJ, I need to know where you're from because I will look up the nearest drug rehab facilities. There is no way he's going to be anywhere near Peyton Manning. Get that out of your head. Peyton Manning's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, I can't.
When people bring that up, it boggles my mind. Peyton Manning? Are you out of your mind?
I can't give him Peyton. I can't give him Peyton. Like I said, I think Alex Smith, Ryan Tannehill.
I hope for Eli. Let alone Peyton. I'd hope for Eli before. I mean, Peyton, you're crazy.
Yeah, Peyton was pretty good. Chris Knight for DJ. Thank you for the $8 super chat. Really, really. This season's going to be all right. Let's hang in there. Mark Bavaro type season. Let's
go, Chris.
I love freaking Mark Bavaro, man. That's my guy. Chris looks like he's a hunter. I'm looking at his hat. Got the hoodie. Maybe not. Maybe not. I see the woods in the back. It's just stuff my brother-in-law wears. He's a big hunter. He's a Raiders fan, but he's a big hunter. So I don't know if Chris is a hunter or not, but he looks like he's a serious dude there. I appreciate you, Chris. Adam, it looks like Chris is a guy you'd want to go to war with, like having your foxhole. Just sometimes you just can tell. You know what I mean? Adam, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really, really. Top 3 vacation spots: Cancun, Maui, and Secaucus.
That the first 2 would probably be on most people's list. Secaucus, it's original. It's original.
Definitely original. My favorite: San Juan, New Orleans.
I've never been to New Orleans.
You gotta go.
Never been there.
Oh, you gotta go.
I've been to Maui. Well, not Maui, but I've been to Hawaii. I didn't go to Maui. I went to Hawaii.
You gotta go to New Orleans, man. You want to party, you want to drink, you just want to have a good time. It's party central. Never stops. New Orleans, and the food. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you like spicy food, man, you like Cajun food, you just gotta go and experience the French Quarter one time. Anybody's got to do that. It's so much fun. And I mean, you get to see boobs for beads. I mean, where else can you do that, Chris? Yeah. You pick them right up off the street. You don't even need to buy them. They're all over the place. You just pick them up and it's fantastic. I mean, when I went to New Orleans, my wife was taking me into strip clubs. I mean, how great is that? I'm serious. We were on the street, all right? We were on the street, and she, I'm getting a hurricane because they're available on the street. Just buy hurricanes or grenades or whatever you buy it. And there's a strip club, and there's a chick dancing. I see her. The door's wide open. See her. And I look, of course.
Yeah.
But then when I notice she's like, I turn around, and she says to me, she goes, "Hey, look." So I look over there, and then she goes, "What are you looking at?" And I'm like, "Well, you told me to look." And she's like, "You want to go in?" And I'm like, "Well, okay." So we go in there, and I remember the chick did she flipped off the stage and wrapped her legs around the guy's neck, and my wife goes, "Damn, she's good." So then she took me in every strip club down the strip.
Now, when your wife did this, was she a little buzzed?
Yes.
A little intoxicated?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. As they say, Chris, bourbon faced on shit street. You guys got to go to New Orleans. I'm saying to you. Adam, there's our nonsense. Anthony Ratza, really, thanks so much. You the man, Kevin. Anthony, how can I be the man when you the man? He says, stand up, Chris. No fear. Giants will straighten out.
Let's go, Anthony.
I hope so, not just for ours, for everybody's sake in this chat, for everybody's sake that is a New York Giants fan. Let's hope. That's
go,
really
baby.
all we can do at this point. You guys and girls are phenomenal, man. I say it all. It's just there are no bad. Listen. I've been on YouTube a long time. I was here in 2008, 2009. I was one of the initial guys to do sports content on here. It was much different back then than the way it is now. I came back in 2014. The sports content was still kind of the same as it was in 08 and 09. It definitely changed about 2017. As I changed, it was starting to change. And I can tell you this, I have seen Cowboys, Eagles, and Washington fans all disappear when their team sucks. And the Giants fans rarely did. They were always here. Pretty much it was an NFC East thing and a San Francisco thing. And I'm telling you, the Giants fan base is the most loyal I've seen on YouTube. They really are. And you have to be loyal to put up with the shit that we've been putting up with. That's why I love you guys and girls, because you could easily say, to hell with it. I'm not watching. I don't need to watch Chris and Kevin. I don't need to watch Talking Giants. I don't need to watch a game. They suck. But you guys always do. So I can't tell you how much it means. And I keep saying, wait till we're good. And I'm just want to be good. I want to have fun. Yep. I know you guys love when I get pissed. I know it. It's fun because you know why? Because again, misery loves company. And people are like, Baddog, I feel that. I know what I want to make good videos. I want to make videos about winning. I want to make happy videos, man. I want the Giants to win. I just want to win.
Yep.
Travis, thank you, brother. Really. I believe in my heart. Joe Judge and Daniel Jones, they're going to figure it out. I feel it.
I just want to read this. And infamous coach, man, I hope you're right, man. And if we're fools, I'll gladly own it. I'm going to pull up Ryan Tannehill's stats right now. But he says you two are fools for saying that Daniel Jones' ceiling is Alex Smith and Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill, his last 2 years with the Tennessee Titans, has 55 touchdowns and 13 picks.
Ryan Tannehill had the highest quarterback rating last year in the NFL.
117.5 quarterback rating in 2019. You wouldn't sign up for that right now? Are you out of your mind? The guy was a Pro Bowl quarterback. He had a 70% completion percentage in 19, 66% in 20. To me, he's one of the most underappreciated quarterbacks in football. I mean, he is a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we're fools. I mean, they made the AFC Championship game. They beat two of the best teams in the AFC. Then they ran into Kansas City. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah. Tannehill's good, man. I think most Giant fans would sign up for Ryan Tannehill.
I would sign up for him having a 117.5 quarterback rating any day.
Yeah.
Rocket scientist, Mahomie. Thank you so much. Really. EOC rep. We've got a lot of EOC reps here. How many yards should I throw against? 600. You're on my fantasy team. 608 touchdowns. Please. Got Josh Jacobs on my team. Hurt. Never fails. I don't know why I bother with fantasy football. I don't know. DJ, thanks so much. Really appreciate you. When he gets better pre-snap and drops dimes with a new offensive coordinator, you will eat your crow. DJ, if he is anywhere near Peyton Manning, I will literally eat a crow.
Everybody in here is going to eat crow if he's as good as Peyton Manning.
Everybody pretty much 99.99999% of people in the world.
Peyton Manning is probably the best regular season quarterback in the history of football.
He's up there.
There's only been 4 quarterbacks in the history of football with 3 MVPs. That's Aaron Rodgers, that's Peyton Manning, that's Tom Brady, and that's Brett Favre. And there's only one quarterback that has 4 more MVPs, and that's Peyton Manning. And Peyton Manning has 5.
Yeah. I can't give him Peyton. I just see Honey Love says, if Jones gets into a shootout with the Chiefs and we win, will you believe in Jones? And I will believe in Jones when he shows consistently week in and week out that he can play like he did last week. He doesn't need to be Mahomes, but if he gives us what he did last week on a consistent basis, and it doesn't need to be that good all the time. Some days it can be better, some days it can be a little worse, but he has to show me consistency. He can't have a game like this week and then have a great game against Atlanta and then come out against New Orleans and go 17 for 36 for 113 yards, fumble twice, and throw a pick.
I really don't think we're going to see that this year. I mean, we might see games where he throws a lot of picks, but I don't think we're going to see the 120-yard games this year.
I hope not.
I really don't. I think he just went up against 2 really good defenses. Denver, everybody says, is the best secondary. In Washington, right now he's averaging 255 passing yards a game, and he's pretty much been right on that mark for both games. So I really don't think you're going to see the limited 120-yard passing. I do think they're giving him more responsibility this year in the offense.
Yeah. Zuhaib, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really, my good man. He says, not even sure if this makes sense, but does our secondary have too much depth?
No, I don't think.
You know what I was going to ask you, Chris? Do you think we have too many coaches? It ruined Washington in the late 90s when Joe Gibbs came back. Too many coaches. Do you think we have too many coaches on this team? Too many ideas. As they say, too many chefs spoil the pot.
I mean, I guess it's possible. It's a theory. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I part of it to me, we'll see. It's only 2 games, so maybe this defense turns it around, and maybe they're coming out slow, and we'll see. But if the defense is a big letdown this year, part of me thinks that we just overhyped them because, I mean, I wrote down the list of quarterbacks we played last year, Baddog. These are the quarterbacks we played last year. Ben Roethlisberger, middle-of-the-road quarterback at this point at best. Probably at best an average start. He's probably slightly below, but I'll say average. Mitch Trubisky, who's a backup right now. Nick Mullins, who I think is flipping pizzas. Jared Goff, who is as close to a backup as you could be. Andy Dalton, who's going to be a backup in a week or two. Played him
He was a backup then.
It was a backup then. Kyle Allen. Carson Wentz, who was the worst quarterback in football last year. Alex Smith, who was playing on one leg, who threw for over 300 yards against us. Brandon Allen with the Bengals. And then we played Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, and Baker Mayfield. So we played 5 good quarterbacks last year.
And we lost all of them. Except for Russell
we
Wilson.
beat Wilson. We beat Wilson. But we played 5 good quarterbacks last year. The rest were either slightly below average or god-awful.
And even this one, we played 2 backup quarterbacks. Couldn't beat them.
Yeah.
I think we'll beat Atlanta, though. I do. Anthony Razza, thank you, brother. Really, my good man. 62 years, a Giant. I feel like ownership. Amalfi Coast, Italy. If I don't get to another place before I die, I got to get to Italy. When I'm retired, I got to get there. That has to happen. I have got to get to Italy. I at least got to go at least got to get to Sicily. I mean, that's where my roots are. I got to get to Italy, but I would like to check out as much of Italy as I can. Like, that has to happen. I got to get there.
I've been there once, but I only been to Rome for a day on a Mediterranean cruise, so I got to get back to Italy.
I got to do it. Well, we should stream from Italy. We should do a show from Italy. 20 years from now, let's make it a deal, Chris. We stream from Italy. I'll be 65. I'll barely be able to walk. My back will be jacked up. Your moss will be completely gray.
It's already
getting the Giants are better by then. Al, thank you, brother. Really appreciate you. You dopes. Tan still had the best run.
He called him Tan Shill instead of Tannehill.
Tan Shill had the best
running back. I think
running back in the league.
He did.
Well, Saquon Barkley should be that for us.
I mean, but okay, so we're going to discount Pat Mahomes because he has the greatest offensive mind in the league, and he's got Tyreek Hill, and he's got Travis Kelce, the best tight end in the league. I mean, you could argue he's got a top 3 receiver, top tight end, the best offensive mind in terms of a play caller. Are we going to discount Pat Mahomes for that? Are we going to discount, you name a quarterback, most of them are going to have great weapons. So, yeah, it helps them, but you still got to give Tannehill props. They got the best quarterback rating in football.
Yeah, I mean, there's some guys that are great running backs that don't have good. Listen, if he has a 117.5 quarterback rating, I don't care who the running back is.
Yeah.
If he throws 55 touchdowns and 13 picks between this year and next year, I'll be extremely happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think that he can be better, but he could be worse too. We just got to see. We don't know what he is, which is why it pisses me off so much. We don't know what he is. He plays like this one week and you're like, oh my God, he can do it. And then he can't. And it's like, he drives me insane, Al. He kills me. He really is. Yeah. John, like I said, he reminds me of Jake Plummer because Jake Plummer would have some games you're like, Jake Plummer's God. And then he'd be like, whoa, he sucks.
Jake Plummer never amounted to anything. He was with the Cardinals and the Broncos.
I know, but he was so good. Like, he looked so good some games and he was so bad.
I hope he's better than that.
I'm saying, though, Jake Plummer.
No, I know. He had his moments.
He looks so good. Like, this guy's going to be great. And then he's like, he don't belong in the NFL. That's Daniel Jones right now.
Yeah.
One game he looks like, oh, this guy could be a top 10. Then he looks like, oh, shouldn't be starting. That's why he ticked me off. John Kim, thank you, brother. Really appreciate you. For me, the Giants have until the Knicks and the Rangers season start. 2 franchises finally on the right path. Can't wait for Rangers versus Caps opener. Rangers going to be pretty decent this year. A lot of young talent. I hope Alexei Lafreniere has a really good year. He struggled a little bit last year. Started to come on at the end of the year, but I'm looking forward to Laff, Kako, and all those other guys, man. I definitely got into the Rangers a lot last year. And they lost a lot. They blew a lot of games in the third period, so hopefully they can hang on to them.
I'm not going to cover hockey, but I'm going to try to get into hockey a little bit this year.
I think they got rid of their coach too, if I'm not mistaken.
And the Knicks, I can't wait. I call the Knicks game, so I can't wait for basketball season to start.
Chris can't be stopped. Thank you, brother. Really know it's early, but so far, who projects a bigger whiff? Jackson, or Dory Jackson, Rudolph Galladay, or Tony? What the F is up with Tony? It's suspect. No. Bigger whiff to me would be Tony so far.
Yeah, I mean, go back to that so I can read the list. I forgot all the names he said. All right, so Dory Jackson, actually, the first game was bad, but the play where he looked really bad, I thought that it was kind of a miscommunication with Logan Ryan, where he got completely destroyed by KJ Hamler on that route where he dropped the 50-yard touchdown. The last game, I actually thought Dory Jackson looked good. I thought he looked pretty good. He was probably one of the few guys on defense that I thought looked good. Rudolph actually caught a couple of balls last game, and I wouldn't really consider him a big whiff because it's only really a 1-year commitment. Galladay's possible if he gets hurt. I still think he'll be productive if he does. I agree with you, Bad. I say Tony because he's an unknown. We don't know what, he has no production in the NFL. He's kind of a gadget guy. He could go one of two ways. He could be a very productive gadget player, kind of like a Percy Harvin, where he had injury problems, but when he was on the field, he was super dynamic. Or he could be like Tavon Austin, who never amounted to anything. So I would say Tony's probably the biggest risk.
Independent Outsider, thank you so much for the super chat. Really. And by the way, thank you for the super chat before the stream started. I did see it, but I do not remember what it said. By the time I got back, you were not in the chat. So thank you for the $5 super chat before the stream started. I did see it. I forgot what the question was, but he says, it infuriates me that the guy we basically traded Odell Beckham for, Dexter Lawrence, lost the game the way he did. If DJ continues to play well, keep him. Yeah, well, it came out that he wasn't offsides, but whatever. I mean, it shouldn't, like Chris said at the beginning, it should never come down to that.
Never should have come down to that.
Shouldn't have come down to that. We should have won that game. We should have won that game a bunch of times. By the way, Chris, thank you so much. Brilly. A 19 for Kenny Galladay. Testing my numbers. I'm pretty good with numbers. Last time it was Chris Cave. Now I remember. Chris.
Oh, yeah.
A Giants military hat. I wear it daily. This is war. I knew it.
I remember Chris K. I remember the name.
I told you.
Yeah.
You wanted him in his. I knew it. He says, I'm with you and Chris every week. You're the man.
Yeah, I remember the name Chris K. I don't remember Chris Knight, but he changed it.
No, that's what I'm saying. I remember Chris K, but I knew. See, the military, I knew.
Yeah.
I knew it. I told you. Sometimes you just see a guy, you're like, yep, I want that guy on my side. I think Al Batts is that guy, too. I think Tuto's that guy. Tuto's definitely that guy. We got some good Italians on us, so yeah, you don't want to mess with us. So
Tuto's like 6'5" or whatever.
Tuto's a big boy and a tough bastard. You don't want to mess with Tuto. Don't want to mess with Tuto. Benjamin, Brilly, thanks so much. Strip clubs, low blowing. Oh, of course, Max ain't interested. He prefers male. Speaking of which, he's been AWOL lately. F Booker expert. I love it, Benjamin. Benjamin is Benjamin should do YouTube video. Benjamin is really a trash talker.
Yeah, if he could stay out of the strip clubs.
I mean, he can make a video from the strip club.
Yeah, if they got Wi-Fi.
He could. Philly Talk Podcast. I believe his name is Mike. You've worked with Mike. Is that right?
Yeah. Mike's awesome.
All right, Mike, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, really. I respect the hell out of that vid on Twitter. If you use steaming at the end, y'all keep it real, but it was hilarious. Chris can't wait for a roundtable.
Yeah, man. We'll definitely we'll see. Maybe next
week. Are we on Twitter?
I don't know. Maybe somebody sent out a video on Twitter of us reacting. I don't know. But yeah, maybe sometime next week. Probably maybe after week 3 we'll do something, man. After week 1 I had a quick game on Thursday, and right now I don't, we don't play for 10 days. I need a little time to cool down, but maybe after week 3 we'll do something.
I don't even want to talk to the NFC East guys right now. want nothing to do with Louis T right now or Brunson. Law Nation's a man. Law Nation's very good, but Louis T would give me hell right now. And he should. DJ, thank you, brother. Brilly. Eat your crow on Kyler Murray, Chris. He balling.
He's good. He's a good quarterback. Very good quarterback.
Yeah, eat your crow, Chris.
A very good.
I love Kyler.
Very good quarterback.
Got a man crush on Kyler. Can't deny it. I freaking love Kyler Murray. He's awesome, man.
Very good quarterback.
He really is good. Said it in 2019. I made a video in 2019. Giants should trade up for Kyler Murray. Can I get a yes? They should have. I don't know what the hell they would have. The Cardinals weren't trading it.
Yeah, well, they were never going to trade it. That's the problem.
God, I wish we could have got
They were never going to trade him.
Tutto, grazie. Thank you so much. What's the difference between an erotic, kinky Eagles fan? Erotic is using a feather. Eagle fan is using the whole track. Tutto. Tutto hates the Eagles. More so than me, if that's even possible. Orphanage builder to ground. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate you. I've influenced Baddog so much. He started using EOC vocabulary such as poverty. Facts. I probably called the Giants poverty in my freaking stream or in my post game. I was pissed. I don't remember. I was pissed and sad. Like it's a weird combination. Yeah. A weird combination of just, like I said, that's love. The emotions that were going through me because of that game were insane. But he says Jets fans are more loyal than the Giants because we've sucked forever. Go Jets. Well, Fireman didn't he quit the Jets because they sucked? He did, I think. Yeah, so I can't give that to you. Or I love you, DeGrom, but I can't give that to you, buddy. By the way, DeGrom, why don't you come to the Yankees? We could use another. Nah, that's good. You stay where you are. We'll get you some runs. They might not be every night. We'll hit some home runs now and again. DeGrom, you stay where you are. We're gonna bring back a team next year. DeGrom, come. Listen, if you come to the dark side, maybe I can get Chris to wear the pinstripes. Come on, DeGrom. Not happening, but DeGrom, you stay right here, buddy. We need you, DeGrom. We need you, Jake. We need you. The Tad that shouldn't be. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you. Really. I think DJ finds the offensive scheme limiting. First half, running set plays, he looked meh. Second half, he takes control and makes plays. He looks good. I would like to see I'd like to see them be more aggressive, and I would like to see DJ call his own plays. Now and again. Not every time. But I think, you know what I like, Chris? You know what I like that they did do last night was the hurry-up offense. I was about to say that. I want to see more of that. Because that is Daniel Jones doing his own thing. Well, that's when Eli was at his best, too. When they used to go with the no-huddle with Eli and he wasn't thinking. Like, a lot of times I feel like Daniel Jones just thinks too much. And just let him go out there and play. Get that hurry-up offense. I think he plays better in that. I'm with that. I think they should use more of. Jesus Christ. Tutto, thank you so much. Grazie. Really. 6'4", 245, 9% body fat. So just think of me and in this build here, but 4 inches taller and 70 pounds heavier because I only have 9% body fat. So holy shit. 5th-year All-Pro, 2-time World Club champion, 2 times MVP runner-up, Lawrence Taylor of the current era. Tutto, I'm glad to be a friend of yours. I ain't messing with that guy. I'm sorry. Tutto, my man. 25, 27, and plays rugby and just murders people. And he's connected. Love Tutto. Independent outsider. Thank you, brother. Really. My first was, what would you be doing as GM right now? I mean, you're in season. There's not much you can do at this point, but that's tough to say. I mean, I think you got to wait until the end of the season to see how the players perform, and then reassess from there. I mean, it's independent. As I just said, my feet have 9% body fat. 9%. It is, Christopher C. It is very hard to maintain, but you have to eat properly and you have to go to the gym a lot, and I do. I mean, you can't be 45 years old and carry 9% body fat without just busting your ass every day. It's hard, but trust me, I have 9% body fat. I work my ass off. Go look at some of my workout videos, man. I really do bust my ass. I just want to make sure I read this because he donated. He meant to correct it. He says, I meant the owner. What would you do if you were the owner right now? So I didn't want him to have to donate again. Okay, if I was the owner, independent, again, I'm not making any changes now. I'm only 2 games into a 17-game season. But if I'm the owner, I'll put it this way. If this team disappoints, I'm cleaning house. If this team goes out there and wins 5 games, Gettleman's gone. And I'm definitely bringing in an outsider to be the new GM. I am not continuing to bring in in-house guys. I need a fresh mind. And if that outsider doesn't want Judge is gone. You have to give that GM that you bring in the say. And as much as some people may like Judge, we're at that point now. If we have another year like we've had,
and we win 5 games and it's a really disappointing year off the offseason that we had, you got to think outside the box. You got to bring in a new mind here, and you got to let him have full say and let him do what he wants to do. So that may come with the risk of losing Joe Judge as your head coach.
I love all the Italian guys. I see Bro Pesci in here. He said the offense missed Ingram's present. Defense has got to account for him, even if his hands are sus. That's a fact, because he's DJ's security blanket. So just think of how much better they would be if they did have Evan Ingram. I mean, that could be a big piece. So hopefully he's healthy, because Atlanta's defense sucks. The DJ and the Giants offense better have a big game, and they better scores that. No 5 field goals from Gano. We need
Atlanta. I expect at least 3 touchdowns. It doesn't have to all be passing touchdowns, but I expect the New York Giants to score at least 3 touchdowns in that game against Atlanta, and I want a 30-point effort.
And then we got Tony Rizzo. See, we got a lot of Italians. He says we can't keep blowing it up. But I know, but you know what happened? I mean, you can't keep being shitty either. Like it's weird. And to talk about what Chris just said, the first thing I do is I hire Chris as the GM, so we get some linemen in here.
Oh, if I was a GM, we may draft. Again, it would depend on how. I'll tell you right now. If I was a GM, Rashawn Slater would be a Giant right now. That is a fact. But we wouldn't have 2 first-round picks next year.
Right.
But if I was a GM next year with 2 first-round picks, I am 1,000% taking a lineman, and I might take 2 depending on how Daniel Jones plays this year. They got to fix that line, Baddog.
I just see an Eagles fan. I always love when Eagles fans come into the stream and say, "Rent Stew, you're in this stream." I'm not going to an Eagles stream. I'm not talking about the Eagles. I don't care. It's got nothing to do with the Eagles. But Eagle fans come in here all the time and say things like Rent Stew. I already know that no matter how good or bad the Giants are, I leave rent free in all Eagles fans' heads. I know I do. I always have. I always will. I needle you. I piss you off. I destroy your fan base. I have done it since I came to YouTube. I will do it until the day I leave YouTube. They got nothing for me. I kill them. I destroy them. And everything I say about them is facts. Everything. Well, maybe not everything, because I'm wrong sometimes. But you're in here. So, yeah, Rent Stew. Pay your rent. Robert Ayala, thank you for the $2. Boom. Appreciate that. Philly 500, I'm in his head too. Always. Who's he talking about? Me? If I talk about Philly 500, it's very rare. He talks about me all the time.
You're in his head.
Even Lord Brunson said, Baddog's the one guy that can really piss me off. He even said that. He goes, nobody can piss me off. Baddog can piss me off. I am good at what I do. That hype and hate video I did for Washington, that pissed so many Washington fans off, which is what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's too bad that I can talk shit, but my team is shit. Stuff. If my team was good, can you imagine what I could do?
It's not easy.
My
Lord. It's not easy to be a shit talker when your team plays like the New York Giants have.
But I can still talk shit with the best of them. It doesn't matter. I can't. It's a fact. Cortez, thank you, brother. Really appreciate that. Why is Slayton starting over a first-round pick? Great question.
I mean, I think it's because of his. I agree with you. I'm sick of Slayton. I think Slayton's overrated by the fan base at this point, but I think it's because of his connection to Jones. They came up together. People said they had great chemistry, and the rookie year they did. I mean, Slayton caught 8 touchdowns. And it seems like he's a guy that Daniel Jones definitely looks to a lot of the times when he throws the football. He's been getting more targets than Galladay has. But that's my answer to you. And I think they probably feel Tony's not ready to get a full role in the offense yet. And that's my answer. But I'm not saying I agree with it.
Yeah, I don't know if he should be starting Cortez, but he definitely needs more snaps. Like, he needs more plays. He needs to be involved in the offense more. I don't know. Like Chris said, maybe him being injured, maybe him not getting a preseason, maybe they're trying to get him getting him indoctrinated slowly into what the offense is doing. Maybe he's trying to get a grasp. Maybe they don't feel he has a grasp of the offense. I really don't know. Because again, we're not in the sidelines, we're not in the locker room, we're not in that film room. We don't know why they make the decisions we do. But at this point, you really can't count on Darius Slayton. He's kind of let you down. And again, I'm not saying he should start over Slayton, but you got to try to find a way to get this guy involved. You can't use a first-round pick and bench him. He's not a quarterback. It's one thing if you draft a quarterback and you got a guy and you want him to learn like Mahomes, like Rodgers, like those guys. That's fine. But why are you drafting a wide receiver when you have much bigger needs, especially after you went out and gave Galladay $72 million, and then he sits the bench. I don't understand that at all. I love the capital that we got from the Bears, but I don't get the pick. And now watching the way he has not played in the first 2 years, or I'm sorry, the first 2 games, now I really don't get the pick. Now I really don't understand. If they would have used him 50% of the snaps or got him involved, I would have said, okay, I understand it. The first 2 games, I'm like, why the hell did you draft him? I don't get it. Zach, thank you, brother. Really. Who's taking the NFC least? Well, I mean, the Giants, of course.
I'll let you know that. Give me the week 8, and I'll give you a better answer on that side.
We're turning this around with the Falcons. We're winning 4 of our next 5. Chris, we're winning. I'm not giving up yet.
I'm not giving up.
I'm pissed off, but I'm not giving up.
Let's beat Atlanta first. Let's beat Atlanta.
We will. We got them. Then we're going to upset the Saints. Then we're going to upset the Cowboys. And things are going to change. Let's go, Giants.
I hope you're right.
That's right. As depressed as I was last night, new day. Listen, I'm a man. We don't hold grudges. Like people talking about the whole Dexter. He wasn't offsides, man. Chris, I can't tell you how many DMs I got on Instagram. 15, 20, he wasn't offside. I said, guys, let it go. I'm a man. We don't hold grudges. We don't hold on to the past. You take it and move on. There's nothing we can do about it. We lost. It doesn't matter. The referees screw up all the time. We know that. Oh, well, someone's like, oh, well, what do you mean? We would have won the game. You don't win. It doesn't matter. We can't win it now. There's nothing they can do. It's over. We move on.
Yeah.
So that's it. So, yes, last night I was pissed off and depressed. Guess what? Today's a new day.
I'm not even pissed. I'm honestly not even pissed. I wasn't even that pissed off after, about 20 minutes after the fact about the Dexter Lawrence penalty. That was
because Dexter Lawrence's penalty wasn't the reason we.
That was like
it was the coup de grace. It was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. There was like 5 other things that I was much more pissed off about.
Yeah, exactly. War Pig, thank you, brother. Brilly. He says, "Where's Leonard Williams? Only thing he's sacking is our financial department."
You're right.
That's good.
The money that he does, he's not delivering, man.
That's a good one. War Pig gets at 420. He gets very cerebral on us. I like that. Road Kevin, the PRF. Thank you, brother. Brilly. You better turn your headphones down. Just dropping in to say your fandom is epic. Your content is better. Keep up the good work. I appreciate you, my man. Thank you for the compliment. And great name, by the way. Kevin is the best name. Let's go. But yes, when I think about it, and I know that's coming, I would tell people to turn their headphones because when I scream, you're going to hear it. So I'm like, turn it down. You're going to hear me if you mute it, you will hear me because I get so I knew I was going to rant. I knew it. You know it. I said that in that post game, I'm going to kill people. And I did.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, I was talking
like, they deserve to be killed, man.
They did. I was so bad. Like I said, man, the emotions that I went through, that we all went through because we thought we won the game on top of it just being teeter-totter. I just said teeter-totter. I just aged myself. Seesaw. Okay. As my man, the horror geek would say, do you kids remember teeter-totters? Christ, I'm old. Teeter-totters. Seesaws. It was a seesaw game, back and forth. And kicks, he misses. We're 1-1. Chris and I are celebrating. Yep. Everybody's celebrating. Turn around, look at the TV. Flag. Air out of the balloon.
If that flag doesn't stand, we forget about all the bad things from that game, and we're going into game 3, and we're saying, "Oh, the defense, we could improve, we could get better."
Yep.
And we got Atlanta; it's a winnable game. We could get to 2-1.
Yep.
And
it's amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
It's amazing because you're right. We would have been talking about the things we could do to get better, but we wouldn't have been depressed.
Yep. And we talking about how Daniel Jones looked great and how he's going to progress, and
yep.
It's just the way the game works.
It is amazing how it works.
And you have to hope at some point this year we catch a bounce. We get lucky against the team.
Let's hope so, man. Hopefully it starts. We're going to win. I'm telling you, we're going to win in Atlanta. We're going to beat Atlanta. We can't lose that game. They're retiring Eli's number. Maybe Eli comes out for the second half.
We got to win. Well, like I said, we got to win 2 out of the next 4. And then after that, I mean, you look at our schedule. I mean, I had us starting 2-4, and then after that, I do think it lets up, and I think we could win. I had us at 9 wins with starting 2-4, but we got to find a way to start 2-4 because let's say we start 2-4. Let's say we win in Atlanta, a win home against Atlanta, and we win one of at New Orleans, at Dallas, the Rams. We steal 1 game. That makes up for the Washington game. We steal it. 2-4, home against Carolina. You got to win. I'm not saying we could easily lose, but you got to win. 3-4, Chiefs is a loss. 3-5, Raiders home. You got to win. 4-5, bye week at Tampa, loss. 4-6, Eagles game. You got to win. Home. 5-6. You got to get a split between Miami and the Chargers. 6-7. They're both on the road. You got to get a split. You got to win one. And then you got to win your home games in the division. You got to win home against Dallas. You got to win home against Washington. And you got to find a way to either beat Philly or Chicago on the road. If you do that, you got 9 wins.
They should be able to beat both of them.
So that's the way
I will say this. After losing the first 2 games, I'm a little concerned. I'm going to have to I'm much less confident than I was when I made that bet with Philly 500 about that. I really don't want to wear that shit.
Yeah.
I really don't want
to. But it's one game at a time, though. You gotta beat Atlanta.
Yeah, it's one game at a time. We just got to beat Atlanta. We got to win. We got to find a way to win. Get some confidence restored. Maybe they go out. Maybe somebody overlooks them and they're able to sneak out a win. Robert, thank you, brother. Really. If I was judge, I'd start Tony over Slayton. Maybe they'll change it up. We'll see.
I would.
I'm more concerned about which is so strange to say. I'm more concerned about the defense. The offense wasn't good against Denver, but they just didn't score. Like, they can move the offense can move the ball. I guess after last night, I'm much more confidence in what the offense can do because I think Jason Garrett did open it up a bit. I hated that. You guys know it during the stream, though, man. I hated that run. I said they got to be aggressive here, man. You can't play for 3, and that's exactly what they did. I hated that. And again, on 3rd and 7, just run the ball again at that point. You run the ball again. Because 3rd and 7 is an obvious passing out. Make them use their last time out. Got to run the ball again. Actually, I don't know. It might have hit the 2-minute warning because I think when they punted, it hit the 2-minute warning, or when they kicked it off, it hit the 2-minute warning. But
it was 2 minutes. I think it was 2-minute warning actually on the last play.
Right.
But when the incomplete pass.
So maybe it wouldn't have mattered, but I don't know. I still think that they should have ran it another time, or at least they should have thrown the ball.
They should have thrown it 2nd and 9.
They should have ran Daniel Jones again. That's what they should have.
Or they could have tried that. They needed something different than a run up the middle on 2nd and 9.
That's right. Definitely. Yeah. Ian, we got time. Thank you, brother. Really, like Belichick says, by the way, shout out to you for spelling Belichick, right? So many people spell it wrong. On to the next opponent. That's right. On to Atlanta, my good man. Joe Vigiani, thank you so much. Really appreciate you, my good man. He says Jones, Barkley, and lots of picks for Watson. Can't do it. Legal implications, $45 million a year contract.
They're not attractive. They're not going to want those players because of the money that they make. It would be like 4 first-round picks for Watson. And like you said, he makes a lot of money. You'd have to clear cap space. I don't see it. Even if they could do it, I don't see I could never see the Giants trading for a player like that. With all the criminal stuff, and even though I know you're innocent till proven guilt, I don't see the Giants. I could be wrong, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I agree. Cortez, thank you, brother. Really appreciate you. They're letting Kadarius Toney get rusty. I don't know what the Kadarius Toney since he got here has been weird. The whole thing's been weird.
Yeah.
I think it was a weird pick.
Injury, man. I think it's the injury.
It was a weird pick, and let's just see what they do in Atlanta. I don't know what it's really strange. Again, I'll address all this stuff in the video tomorrow. I want to do a video on Joe Judge and pretty much what's going on, what I see the first 2 games. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff. I want to talk about him. I want to talk about Daniel Jones. There's a lot of videos I want to do. I got 10 days. A lot of videos.
Yeah.
Brendan Jackson, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Really. Eagles fan here. Love watching your channel, though. Appreciate that. We got a lot of good Eagle fans in there, man. Like I said, with the Eagles, man, it's trash talk. It's the NFC East. It's all love. And of course it is. A lot of respect and love that goes on, but that's what it is. You got to shit talk your opponent. Is Tony a bust? Can't say that yet. We don't know. He
hasn't played. How could you call him about he hasn't played?
But then he says, not sure if trading back was the best option for y'all, which is a good point. And Chris mentioned it earlier that we probably should have addressed the offensive line because if you're going to trade back, why are you not trying to help out your quarterback, Daniel Jones? You want to see if this is a make or break year for Jones. You want to know if he's the future, and you didn't help him out by going and getting Kadarius Toney. I like what we got from the Bears. I'm never really agreed to the pick. So
this year, for me, if I was the GM, and especially knowing, like, if I'm Gettleman, I put myself in Gettleman's shoes going into this year, I'm doing everything I can because Daniel Jones is my legacy. That's what Dave Gettleman, even if Gettleman gets fired and he screwed up a lot, regardless, if he gets fired, he screwed up a lot if we have a bad year this year. But if Daniel Jones turns out to be a top 6, 7 quarterback, I'm not saying he's going to, but I'm saying if he does and he ends up winning the Giants a Super Bowl, Dave Gettleman is still going to be remembered fondly because that his legacy, just like of course he was with Eli Manning, even though of course he did a lot of other good things. So if I was Gettleman and I'm in his shoes, I'm using that pick the best I can to help out Daniel Jones. And to me, you already addressed the weapon. You got Galladay. You got the best offensive lineman in the draft staring you in the face, at least in my opinion, in Rashawn Slater. And I don't know. I don't know why they passed up on him.
I don't know either. By the way, Pungam, I saw your message, so I did make Lake Nona a mod, just so you know. Gustavo, thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you, Brilly. He just says 20, but then I see his question here. He says, love the chat. My question is, why have the Giants not been able to acclimate to the modern NFL? The owner.
Yeah, the owner. That's plain and simple. That's it. That's the only answer, Gustavo. The owner.
Yeah.
That's the only answer.
There's no doubt about it. But guys, it is 12:15. We're live for 2 hours and 50 minutes, so we're going to get out of here. One last time, if you haven't done so, do me a favor. Hit the like button. It helps out the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. More importantly, make sure you go into the description. The link to the Entertainment Talking Sports is the first thing you're going to see. Click on it. Sub him up. We'll be doing this show on his channel next week. We'll also be doing the Giants in Atlanta game live stream on his channel. We alternate channels for the show and every New York Giants football game. Really appreciate you guys and girls being here. Thanks so much. Another bad loss for the Giants, but we'll hang together, man. We're the best group on YouTube. We're the best fan base there is. I mean that. So you guys and girls are amazing, man. Appreciate the hell out of you. Couldn't do it without you. And listen, man, maybe, you got to hit rock bottom before you came up. Listen, I got a perfect shirt on today. I don't know if you could say it. Progress through pain. I progressed through pain today. Got 2 hours sleep, worked a full day, came home, made dinner for my wife and kid, went to the freaking gym for an hour and a half. Progress through pain. Progress through the pain of last night. Progress through the pain of an everyday life. Progress through pain. We'll get through this together. Turn this shit around. This is a rock shirt, by the way. I don't know if you can see the Brahma bull there.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe we finally hit rock bottom. And in order to come back, you got to hit rock bottom. I don't think you could have a lower moment than the Giants had last night. So let's hope that is rock bottom.
I hope
we start coming up, But I love you guys and girls to death. Thank you so much, Chris. As always, thank you for coming on the channel, man. Appreciate it. And I love doing the show. My favorite thing I do on YouTube is this show.
I always love coming on, man. Always love doing the show. Like you say, we do it every other week. Come on over to mine next week. Watch the show. But again, like Baddog said, I appreciate each and every one of you guys that continue to support us. Yeah, and all I can say is, just thinking, from my perspective is I had us losing that game, before the year started. So so I'm not shocked that we lost. It's just so depressing in the method of which we lost. So it's 0-2. I was hoping for a 1-1 start. I knew we'd get off to a sluggish start offensively. The surprising thing is the offense hasn't been too sluggish. It's been the defense that's been sluggish, and it needs to get a lot better. The defense needs to wake up, but I have not given up on the season yet. It's a 17-game season.
Yep.
7 teams make the playoffs, and we play in the NFC least. So I don't see anybody running away from this division. We've got a game that I think we could win in a week, but I'm not taking anybody for granted. I'm not telling you it's a guaranteed win at all. Unless this defense wakes up, we're not beating anybody. So coaching's got to be better. Jones needs to continue to progress. We got a long football season ahead of us, and I'm not quitting on this football team. I know you guys aren't either, or at least some of you guys aren't. And let's get this win. Let's get to 1-2, and we'll take it one game at a time after that. Definitely gets challenging after that.
Listen, man, we had almost 1,000 people in tonight, so I know they ain't giving up on this. By the way, I just want to put whoops, there they go. That's not what I wanted. Where did that thing go? I want to put this up here because this is hilarious to me before we get out of here. A Seahawks fan. You guys ain't no best fan. The Seahawks are the biggest bandwagon fan base in the history of the NFL. Nobody gave a rat's ass about Seattle for years. And I guarantee you the King didn't even know that they were in the AFC West at one point. 90% of Seahawks fans have no idea they were actually in the
second
AFC.
They lose Russell Wilson, nobody.
If I asked a Seahawks fan, a random Seahawks fan, who's Kurt Warner? inevitably they would tell me, oh, he was the quarterback of the Rams. When in essence, he was their Pro Bowl running back from the early 80s. I guarantee you.
The best.
So yeah, it's one thing for a Washington fan or an Eagles fan to say it, but a Seahawks fan, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Coming from a Seahawks fan, that is the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. So thank you for the laugh on the way out.
The best Seahawk I can remember in my lifetime was, I guess, Cortez Kennedy. He was a good Seahawk when I was a kid. You had Matt Hasselbeck. You had Sean Alexander. But you're absolutely right, Bad Dog. There weren't Seahawks fans before Russell Wilson. And when he leaves, there'll be no fans again. The King will be a Giant fan in 5 years. So we'll bring in the fan base, buddy.
Yeah, the 12s will be represented in the Meadowlands. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. You know, Bad Dog's always got to talk a little trash before you. It's just how it goes. The Entertainment Target Sports, Bad Diggity Dizzle. Enjoy your weekend, guys.